I'm ashamed about what has come about in these emails, and I'll make no excuses for it. It's shameful. But I am a good person. I believe that. I go to church. I've been married for 31 years. I got 3 great boys. I still love football. I've made some mistakes, but I don't think anybody else in here hasn't. And I just ask for forgiveness, and hopefully I get another shot.
I think if they found a trade for Jimmy Garoppolo that they had liked, they would have done it, regardless of Trey Lance and how he's done this offseason. I do not think they went and said, oh, Trey Lance had a rough go of it this camp, so we need to hold on to Jimmy. If that had been the case, Jimmy probably would have had more leverage than be able to get just $6.5 million. So I don't think so. But if they are having any doubts, this gives them a better fallback option than Nate Sudfeld, Brock Purdy, which are the other 2 quarterbacks on the roster.
Here's the pitch. And that one's hammered to left field, hooking toward the line. If it's fair, it's gone, and it's fair. A blast by Altuve, his 22nd of the season. And the Astros lead 2-0 just like that.
And enjoyed yesterday off here in our nation's capital. 3-2 pitches lined to left center. It's a base hit over Abrams and into the alley. Kemp's around third, and he is going to score without a throw. Tony had to wait to see if Abrams was going to make a leaping catch. He did not. And Sean Murphy delivers his 54th RBI. The A's an early 1-0 lead.
I think a lot of places, watching the tape, we played hard. The effort was there. Came down to 4 or 5 plays, probably on both sides of the ball again, that we need to execute. Had a couple busts on defense and misfits that cost us some big plays and cost us a first down or 2, and that led to points. Had a couple more chances on offense to score. We're going to be in a lot of games where that's the case, and I think just detail and consistency. Yeah, I didn't even realize I said that after the game. I guess, kind of referring to the run game more than anything. Coach Whipp's really good. He knows his stuff. Thought he did a really good job calling the game. We've gotten better up front. There's no doubt about it. We're better at running back. There's no doubt about it. But in the Big Ten, it's hard to just turn around and hand it to a back and think you're going to be real consistent. So I think I was referring to coming off the game, just maybe having a few more things in the run game that are schemed for the particular opponent.
Let the boys be boys. Good morning. It's Wednesday on the Morning Zoo.
Hey, what in the world is wrong with your voice?
That's
I like the old school Onyx. Do you know what Onyx is historically?
Like a type of rock?
Correct. Who was the first person that allegedly, if you're a non-believer, was to use Onyx?
Like use Onyx in what regard?
Like a chalkboard, of course.
Was it T.O.?
It would be the 10 Commandments. Who wrote the 10 Commandments?
Was it the Lord?
Oh, my Lord.
I can see where Chance is going here because he is talking about Tom Osborne.
Onyx, the slab of rock, which is...
Well, I saw the movie and the lightning made it.
So if you listen to the end of our show yesterday...
Here we go.
If you listen to the end of our show yesterday, that call from Rick, quality call, and now the start of Chance here in answering your question. Woo!
Hey, no, so...
I was going to talk about a psychological experiment in Lincoln. Might as well do one on the show.
So we've got Chance, we've got Rick, and we've got Jim Harbaugh. If we want random, obscure, generally speaking, biblical references.
Oh, you got to get Dabo in there.
Well, there's no random with Dabo. He's all in.
Well, you get the whole glossary from Dabo
on the good book.
So what you're saying is that we should equate all of our conversations today to biblical origin.
Well, so I'm kind of apt to do that sometimes. So you be careful because I'll weave in just about everything I can.
Yeah, I've forgotten a lot.
Are you a quince or an apple guy with Adam and Eve?
Oh, I thought you were talking about my sparkling ice.
What flavor is that? Kiwi strawberry? You're so cheap. All you do is buy that in bulk.
No.
Like that's the biggest giveaway flavor ever.
It's $1. Okay. So it went up and it's come down. It's like one of the rare things that went up and came down. So it's only $1.
It's the going up part that's just struggle, isn't it? Hey, I saw
You
something
got to
the
keep
other day.
feeding it.
Yeah, I got a family to feed. My man Boyce, he sent me he's my coupon meat saver guy.
Yeah.
He sent me a deal yesterday at a particular grocery store around town that has. Now, tell me if you've ever even just heard these numbers. Buy 10, get 5 free. Has anybody heard of those numbers put together? Buy 10, get 5 free. I'm not going to say what we're talking about, but isn't that a weird combination?
Yeah, just like the meat in the parking lot combo was.
Well, that was your guys.
Yeah, and then they were gone just
Yeah.
like that.
Hey, how big was the red shrimp? Was it pretty big?
It was pretty big. I heard the seafood was pretty good. But the
Right.
10 and 5 is an odd combo.
It's all about the upsell.
Yeah.
Hey, Chance, buy 12, get 7 free.
I mean, like in football terms.
Oh
is this-
yeah, 19.
I mean, in football terms, it's like 6 to play 5, 5 against 6.
I was talking to one of our Coach Sikora. He's kind of become my guy. So I was messing with him, and I said, "Hey, and he's an offensive guy, right?
Yeah.
Even though he played defense in his career, and we like joking around. And I go, hey, I said, are you a insert blank grocery store guy? He goes, sometimes. Why? What's up? I go, hey, they got buy 10, get 5 free. And just like an offensive guy that likes numbers, he goes, well, how much is it per the 10? I was like, you Denny Downer, stop being all practical.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in on a Wednesday. It is the final day of August. Kind of feels a little bit like fall outside.
Yeah.
Get your pumpkin spice game going. You
Hey,
can get Halloween decorations
can
and
we
stuff at the stores already.
Nope.
Did you know that Halloween
Wait.
stores are open?
Hey, by the way, I was at not to
That's
go
like 2 months from now.
not to go to a grocery store this morning, but saw a young lady get caught shoplifting 2 days ago, broad daylight. She was in the Rascal or the scooter or the motorized thing.
Yeah.
She couldn't have been but about 20-some years old. And guess what she was lifting?
Meat.
Candy. Meat. What? Why did you go with meat?
Animal House. Food King.
Bags.
Oh.
And it makes noise.
Yeah, but like, did she look like she should have been in the Rascal? Because that's a dead giveaway.
No,
Okay.
her hair was pink. She had a nice little fade, and it was flopped over to the side. Did not look. Not to say that you couldn't be Rascal bound.
So what did she do? She tried to drive the Rascal out of the store?
No, but quiet as kept. I didn't finish the story the other day when I told you that my guy was like, "Hey, do you know Zach Potter?" No, first of all, he's like, "Hey, DB," and then we went into the
Yeah.
Zach Potter story, right? So same grocery store,
Mhm.
and so I'm looking for a little marinade, right? Because it's always about the marinade. What are you going to put your meat in? And the guy goes,
Stop.
"You're a child.
Yeah, you are.
You're an ass."
You are.
Did you hear his laugh?
Yeah, it's not
He
even
goes,
7.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm in that aisle, and the guy that's wearing the gear of said grocery store
Yeah.
goes, "Hey, I need an officer to respond to aisle 5 immediately. I need an officer to respond to aisle 5 immediately." And I was like, "Oh, it's like a stakeout." I was looking for like Emilio Estevez and a little dude with the thin cookie duster. What was his name? Whatever that actor's name was. Whatever.
Yeah.
Chance, are you too old for stakeout? You love Jaws, so I know you got an old soul, but does anybody remember stakeout?
I know the name, not like anything about it.
No.
I'll look it up though.
Everybody
Oh,
knows.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dang, you little
that
Rolodex.
Jaws.
That little.
Well, because when you said Jaws, because I was thinking of older actors.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes. So Richard
So yeah, and
He hates Bill Murray, by the way.
hey, so I love the OPD.
Yeah.
Just because so many of my buddies do that, and so I'd forgotten like 3 things, literally, because I'm scrambling, right? I mean,
Mhm.
you got to drop keys off, freaking, garage door opener. It's just a lot going on with the house, right? And in the middle of coaching, and whatever we're doing here, right? And so the police officer goes back and he goes, "Why do you look familiar?" So the first time I said, "I have no idea," because I left my phone at the self-checkout thing.
Yeah.
And I went to the wrong self-checkout, and he goes, "No, it's not that one. It's the other one." And I go, "Hey, that's why you're good at your job, attention to detail." So he kind of chuckles and he pushes me in the back on the way out. He's like, So the third time I was getting ready to pull out of the parking lot, and I was like, "Dang it, I forgot blank."
Yeah.
So I came in through the other door, And the guy goes, "Are you just being nosy, or are you not very good at this?"
Wow.
I was like, "Hey, still love you guys."
Hey,
Glad you guys respond quickly.
hello.
Yeah, man. Community, man. Love the community. It's all good in the neighborhood.
Can I put as
You
we
can do whatever
as
you
we
can do
welcome
whatever you want, man. Your name comes first. In
No,
the show.
we're co here together. We have
No.
cooperation.
What? Oh, you got jokes early.
Oh, it's not really
I thought you were gonna go with the other C word.
it's not really a joke.
You did ask me the other day about what I wanted to do on Friday, so you're trying to be creative too.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
We need creative cooperation.
Yeah, because we're not going to run it back
Can I?
on Friday. We're
Can
going to
I?
run it forward.
Can I suggest ideas without you saying that I want it to be spinning and sharp in the morning?
Yeah, that's cool.
It's not offensive.
It's cool. Like,
you-
who's
are-
going to be QB1 because you're going to have to run it?
I mean, hey, at least he did say, all jokes aside, and Chance played it in the open. You do have to be exceptional up front to just
Yeah,
turn around and hand the
you do.
ball off.
You do.
Okay, it's still the Big Ten,
Yeah, that's
regardless of what Chance
that's
says.
football 101.
It's the Big Ten.
But
What
yesterday,
did I say?
Absolutely nothing.
you said you wish the Big 12 would infiltrate the Big 10, and it'd be
Actually-
basketball on grass.
Actually, I don't think that's what he said.
Really? I'll have to go back and listen to the tape.
Chance, give me 4 teams off the top of your melon in the Big 12. Ready, go.
Oklahoma State, K-State, Kansas, and Texas Tech.
Chance greater than Shane.
That was a really weird to go those four
Hey,
because I thought you'd go up top.
hey, air dap. Air dap.
So as I listened yesterday,
And I know our listeners are like, God, is it only Wednesday? Why are these guys on speed?
we can't let our feet get caught. We got to keep moving.
Oh, Lord. Hey,
Got to move. You got to move forward. So
here's the thing, though.
Mhm.
yeah,
In order to pull this show off,
yeah.
will we have had to have had multiple live reps?
Well,
Or can we just kind of do it and hope?
I don't
that
know.
we
If I
hang in
give
there?
you a lot of reps, are you going to be tired? I got to keep you fresh.
So can we go 3 minutes on, 1 minute off?
We could do that, but with our show, we go a little bit longer. But whatever happens here, we got to get it done this year.
You're a child.
So this whole little discussion here
You're an absolute child.
is what fascinates me about this season. Like if you are a psychologist
And I am not.
and you're trying to diagnose Nebraska football,
Chance.
this
Let's get
is-
Dr. Stark on line 1. Guarantee you he's up.
this is the wild
You have his number?
balance.
Yes.
You know what you
Send it to
saw?
me.
You know what you saw yesterday? You saw the balance. We talked about this on Monday,
It's bizarre.
but that's going to be going on all season long, win
Bizarre.
or lose for Nebraska. You have a head coach who he knows that he's up against it. He said again yesterday, we've got to get it done this year.
Yeah.
He said players, staff, and I think he probably said himself as well. So you have that hanging out.
I think
there.
that was implied.
You have Caleb Tanner, who, man, if you're just thinking, well, guys, wash it and move on. Man, Caleb Tanner got real with you yesterday
Yeah.
about how much pressure there is for these guys to be successful and how he wants them to be successful. And he wants himself personally to be successful.
Oh, hang on.
That
Go ahead. Hey, listen. Let's go back to almost a month ago. And you said, give me a word.
yeah, you said tight.
And I said tense.
You said
and-
tight or tense.
Tense. I don't use tight. It's, Austin Powers. Chance, you're
Look
that-
at you today.
That's in your wheelhouse.
Toy like a toiger?
What are you drinking
Yeah.
over there? you
Uh,
are juiced up.
oh, this?
Yeah, just water.
Aha, aha.
You're from Holland? Isn't that weird?
Are those the people that wear wooden shoes? Or is that
No,
stereotype?
No, they do. They do.
I'm
Maybe in the old country.
You don't need to go to Holland. You can just go to Pella,
just
Iowa.
trying to get my regional stereotypes correct this
Oh my
morning.
God.
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Now all I can think of is
Hey, so I said
Thank you,
tense.
Damon.
I know you're thinking like take on me with the little pencil drawing
Take
video.
on me.
Take on me.
Yeah.
Stop. So I said tense. And I walked you through this scenario because I didn't know. I said, is this the kind of pressure that's either going to yield a diamond or burst pipes? Is this team built to handle all the things that the coaches have shared with them
Mhm.
about the importance of this season? It started with Matt Masker talking about what Coach Frost had said about what this year entails and calling plays and this, that, and the other. And we poo-pooed it because he was the X-string quarterback. I was like, hey, I don't know, man. Like, if I'm a head coach, is my team mature enough to handle that?
Mhm.
Right? We talked about that, not
Yeah.
hindsight.
Yeah.
Then we fast forward to Big Ten Media Days. And it was, ooh, Garrett Nelson says this. This player says this. Quentin News, hey, a lot of pressure. Garrett Nelson then comes back and say, I just want to see him healthy again or happy.
Mhm.
I said, ooh, are they built to be able to handle the authenticity of just saying what my feelings are as a head coach? Would you tell your players that? We did all these hypotheticals,
did.
right? Then you fast forward to yesterday. Caleb, he has become like and I've told you this last summer when he was healthy and he was getting it in, working his ass off, right? And I was like, golly, man. And maybe it's because subconsciously I saw a little Caleb Tanner in me, right? Like the guy that was supposed to be kind of talented. He jacked around, didn't really, kind of buy in, a lot, right?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, like this switch hits. It's like, man, you got to either tinkle or get off the pot, right? So he decides that he's gonna get off the pot. Actually, he decided he was gonna tinkle. So he starts to put it together. He then becomes a captain, and I said, hey, man, I am so happy for this guy, the way that how far he's come, yada, yada, yada. Then you hear him yesterday. He's one of, and I don't know if it's the few, he's one of the small number that has actually said out loud as an orator exactly what I think Nebraska needs to be about this year. Like the way that he conveyed it, you have to hate losing more than you like winning. But it has to be about for the people that are closest to you. It can't be about for anything else because that is very, very hard to sustain.
And
it just is.
And I'm glad he said it out loud yesterday. It's not like you just snap your fingers and you move on.
Yeah.
I mean, you only get 12 opportunities. And these 12 opportunities are on a whole different level than you've ever encountered. So you had him. And again, good for him to say that it's not easy to move on. Okay. Then you bring in Casey Thompson, who is brand new to the program. And he's almost like, guys, it's okay. Okay, we're going to move on. We play on Saturday. It's another opportunity. It's cool. I got you. Okay, we're going to take care of this. You are balancing, and we're seeing it in front of cameras. Can you imagine what it's like in the locker room with trying to blend in new guys, some guys that have come from championship programs, and they've never experienced the wild swing of close games, and at times where you have, Matt Schick tweeted out yesterday, 80% plus win probability.
Those win probabilities were tough to see.
But and how you've, for the last 9 games, you've had a win probability at some point later in the game of 80%, 7 times under Frost. So guys that have been here, they know that. Guys that are coming in, they don't know that. So you're blending a locker room that is like, man, here we go again, compared to guys that are like, no. We got 11 more football games to play. And then you've got at the top, you've got a head coach who he's not running away from the significance of this season. His head's not in the sand. When he says, we got to get it done this year, you know that the all on him. It is a wild dynamic of balancing all of those different elements to try and put together something during a week and then go out and play on Saturday to win a football game.
Mm-hmm.
Sign me up for the PhD to sit back and watch how this all goes, because this is very fascinating to me. Yesterday was kind of the up and down of how long you've been here and what you've gone through in your career.
And it depended on who you talk to, right?
Yep.
It's funny you said you started out yesterday morning talking about the differences in press conferences, right? Who's accustomed to this, who's kind of got closer to a blank slate. And the meshing of those mindsets
Mm-hmm.
is going to be paramount because, and I've said this before, and usually it's with regards to coaches and fan bases handling history. I said it's good to understand it, understand where you come from, and understand
Mhm.
history, but you cannot be held captive by it because it's not freeing. You're not able to move forward if you're trapped in the past. That's why there's these little nuances and blends of where you have to be able to have a benchmark of where you want to start without being able to live in the 90s.
Yep.
You have to be able to pour into some of that insight because it's of relevance without being stuck in the 90s. Same as if I'm a current player and I've been here for 3 or 4 years and I haven't had a lot of success, I cannot be stuck with where that is. I have to find a way to use it to move forward to make the present something different than what I wanted.
Mhm.
And it's not magical words. It's like, okay, how did this make me feel? And how do I keep from having to feel like this again? Or how did this make me feel? How do I sustain that, whatever it was that was released, if it was something to the good? That's the whole key.
I agree.
That's the thing. That's the magic to staying in the moment. But the real trick is, though, it has to be about something or for something other than yourself for long-term sustainability. That's the difference between happiness,
Mhm.
as I like to say, because that comes from what's happening. That's too situational. Or joy. That's experiencing the good that comes out from what's happening in the moment to everybody else. And sometimes, my guy, it may be at your expense.
I wholeheartedly agree. And then there's the other element that has been there is blending coaches that have come from successful programs to
Well,
your program.
So who are they, though?
You're coming from an LSU program. You're coming from a TCU program where Gary Patterson, attention to detail, day-to-day stuff is very, very tight.
Yeah. But
But so you come in and so you have those places you've been. And I like the outside perspective. And then you come into a situation where you know how difficult it is to go, man, if we would just run our program like this, just make that subtle change. Look what a difference it would make. So you're blending that as well. I mean, all of these things are coming together. And then when you don't play well and somebody outcoaches you and outplays you at times like Saturday, they get magnified.
Mm.
But I think yesterday was one of those days where you got to see, I've been here for a while, or I just got here, and Captain Cool goes, no, we're good. We're good. We're going to be fine. We got another football game to play.
Yeah.
Season's not over. We're 0-1. Yeah, it sucks. But we got a chance to be 1-1. And I'm paraphrasing a lot of stuff at Casey Thompson, but I'm thinking, that's how, as the quarterback of this team, he's looking at it.
Hey, Chancey Pants, how much of that audio do we have chopped and screwed?
Not enough.
That's what DJs do when they want to
screw.
Should have it soon.
So the interesting thing about this is let's rewind just about 5 weeks ago. And we kind of asked the national guys and the local guys that cover the team. And I want to know if your opinion has changed. So shoot me straight. I said, hey, listen, what's the most important thing in terms of transitioning with camaraderie? Is it coach to coach, coach to player, player to player? At what point did has it changed, and what was it originally? Be honest. What was your original thought? This is not knowing what you know about what I think.
Coach to player.
Okay, that's what you.
And it changed.
And I've always thought it was coach to coach, right?
Yep.
It changed for you to what?
Coach to coach.
Why?
Because you are blending some different personalities and now going coach to coach. One of the main coaches, the head coach, has to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I don't think he's built for that.
Yeah. That one stung a little bit. You know why, though? Because I think I cheer for I generally I cheer for people, and I'm the guy that says because something has been doesn't mean it always will be. You say he may not be built for that. You have to have faith. Well, you don't have to, but having faith that folks can grow and evolve is the whole key to this. And it's not solely on Coach Frost, right? Because there has to be the other group of guys that are new to this. I told you it's a two-way street. And Coach Frost told you 6 weeks ago the importance of it when he talked about needing some humility, and humility was a two-way street. And I said, you cannot give what you've never received. It is very hard to have humility in the moment and to be overly concerned and pay attention to detail about what somebody else is bringing to the table if that's not something you're accustomed to. I still think that that's a two-way street. So for as much knowledge as B. Applewhite has and Mickey Joseph and in varying degrees, Coach Whipple, because sometimes we equate experience with success, and it has been hit and miss isn't the word, but consistency hasn't been there for Coach Whipple. But as the experienced elder, we kind of anoint him as the adult in the room. There still has to be this, okay, all right, hey, listen, where are your strengths? This is what we bring to the table. What are your strengths? Let's see if we can mix that. Conversely, Coach Frost has got to be able to say, okay, this is kind of what I do well. How does this fit with what you guys do? It is very much a two-way street. I just worry that in these conversations, we pigeonholed Frost in terms of, well, he's the constant. It's got to be him. Some of that may be true, but other guys either have to it's not stand their ground. They have to have resolve, but the ability to compromise. And he has to have the ability to communicate
how he presents what he would like
and work through it. That right there is the ultimate key to the staff having a united vision, because right now you're hearing the differences depending on who coaches those guys and how long they've been in the program. It can't be that way. It can't, because it's the same program. Right? So I'm not going to use the C word. The environment is not mutually shared when you hear them speak about it out loud. They've got to change that process so it can help them win games in crunch time, because when it is nut cutting time, that's all you have to really fall back on. Who are we and what are we about?
We'll get into, because there is the blending of the run game, and
man, that kept coming up.
Well, because that's an issue, but there's got to be the blending, because there are concepts that Frost has that work, and how do you blend those into? Essentially, Saturday was the Mark Whipple offense. If you watched last year in the ACC and the Pitt Panthers play, that was kind of the Pitt offense that played on Saturday. There are elements of Frost, what he likes to run in just not just quarterback run, but other parts like, why didn't Nebraska get outside? That can you blend those together? Now, I would think adults in the room that the whole goal is to win football games and move forward week by week, that's got to be an incorporation. So maybe Saturday and the first time going through it, when you haven't called plays in a decade and trying to figure out what to do when it comes to the offense, is, okay, we've seen it in action. What do we do week 2 so we don't have this again? It's the whole psychological thing of all of this coming together. The boomer bust of, if it's great, look what could happen. If it's not, Saturday happens. But there's something else that was said yesterday we're going to get to here shortly after the break. We talked right away on Monday morning that a lot of the elements of Saturday were lost before you ever took the field in Dublin. It was reiterated yesterday. It was just really, really quick, but I was uncomfortable by something Quentin Newsom said. Maybe uncomfortable is not the right word. He said out loud what we have wondered.
We call that what Chance does to us every morning when we look at the lineup. A tease.
That lineup includes Brandon Vogel from Hale Varsity. He's part of the lineup brought to you by the Rooferys at John Higgins Weather Guard. 951-1620. Detail and consistency, not with the head coach, but the program, fixable in the moment moving forward. Detail and consistency, fixable. The whole program. We're not picking coach, player, the whole program. That and much more. 951-1620. You can always email us into the Equitable Bank inbox where they take banking personally. Gary or Damon at 1620thezone.com or on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed at Gary Sharp 1620 or at Damon Benning or at Sharp and Benning, where Chance will take care of you today on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
The media asks about how it's going with play calling all the time, and every freaking time he says it's hard. He said at Big Ten Media Days, it's sad. He needs to stop because everybody knows it's really, really difficult for him, but they need to get past that hump, and that's just one of the things. Like, can he grow into the role? Of course you can. You can get better as a head coach. Can he get better as a head coach? Can he grow into it?
The Connor Happer Show, weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Comfortable start Wednesday with temperatures in the 50s and lower 60s. We'll see tons of sunshine throughout the day, though turning hot in the afternoon. Highs topping out in the low 90s. We should stay dry into the evening with a slight chance of a shower or storm west of the metro. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From LaBurton, AC, heating, plumbing, and more. Time-saving traffic center. We have one accident to report along I-480 near Martha Street, so please be cautious if you are in that area. Then along L, be prepared for just a little bit of a delay from 102nd to 83rd. And on Center, it looks like you can expect a bit of slowdown from 192nd to 175th. As always, remember to stay safe and wear your seatbelts. I'm Chris Scott. This time-saving traffic was brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
The Nebraska Lottery has raised over $880 million, which has helped provide more than 117,000 college scholarships, save wildlife habitats across the state, and fund new facilities at the Nebraska State Fair. The Nebraska Lottery, helping to build a better Nebraska.
Psst, come here. I got a secret weapon that'll make your family happy. Real happy. It's my new caramel toffee cookie combo. My big chocolate chip cookie covered with caramel and toffee bits. Add any medium specialty pizza piled high with the best toppings and loads of mozzarella on top. Plus any medium one-topping pizza. Caramel toffee cookie combo. Order now. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Buy your next vehicle your way from anywhere with Woodhouse. Start your journey online at woodhouse.com. Easily shop all new and pre-owned inventory. Explore payment options and apply for financing. Ready to purchase? Schedule your new vehicle for pickup from the dealership or have it delivered to your driveway. Need a little extra help in determining your perfect vehicle? Our knowledgeable and local dealerships can guide you to the vehicle that best matches your needs. Experience car buying your way with Woodhouse, a trusted auto partner since 1975.
Let's face it, food shortages are a real threat now. Supply chain breakdowns, inflation, fuel prices, global conflicts, fertilizer cutbacks, farmers being encouraged not to plant. The stage is set for the peanut butter to hit the fan. But for some reason, Americans are still in denial about food shortages. Listen, we don't take risks with other things in our lives, so why take risks with your food security? Those who know what's coming are using today to prepare. Millions of Americans have purchased Ready Hour emergency food from My Patriot Supply, the brand people look for when they're ready for real preparedness. MyPatriotSupply.com is America's largest preparedness company. Get stocked up on emergency food that lasts up to 25 years in storage to get you through tough times ahead. Your other choice is to stand in government food lines, hoping for a handout. As we both know, that's not an option. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now. MyPatriotSupply.com.
When you can't stop There's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Hey everyone, Josh and John here for the FanDuel Sportsbook. Week 1 in the NFL has almost arrived. And join today and start with $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. All you have to do, John, is sign up with our promo code 1620 to get in on all of the action. Take Dallas against Tampa Bay. Who knows where Tom Brady has been over the last few weeks? Go Cowboys in week 1.
Josh, same game parlays are the way to go when it comes to betting football because you can not only take the game number, but you can also look at player props, pool them together, and that makes a bigger win for you. And don't miss this chance to get $150 in free bets, win or lose, using our promo code 1620. 21 plus in President Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Rooferees. Sharpen betting in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app.
Sharp betting in the morning on a Wednesday, the last day of August. Late last night, Aaron Judge hit another home run. That's 51. Yankees actually won a baseball game last night.
When they beat a bad team, right? So that's new for them as of late too, because they've been stubbing their toe against some of those folks. You got to steal those, or you'll be playing on the road.
Yes, you will. I snapped a 3-game losing streak last night, beating the Angels. Before we get back into some sound from yesterday and our reaction to a Tuesday media availability in Lincoln ahead of the 2:30 kick against North Dakota, Bill Connolly has just put out from ESPN. I think his spreadsheet said 37-14 Nebraska, but he has done his SP plus for FCS teams. Now, North Dakota, 5-6 last year. They are not preseason top 25. They had a stretch of a couple of years where they were really competitive. Like they gave North Dakota State a run. They made the postseason. He has them amongst the FCS teams, his offensive SP plus for FCS teams. He has North Dakota 78th. Now, he has North Dakota 4th, though, as the best SP plus defense in FCS.
Yeah, they're havoc. They're havoc plus.
Their coverage, their blitzes, their fronts, they will challenge some stuff for Nebraska offensively and try and put some pressure on that offensive line and Casey Thompson. I don't believe North Dakota will, or you don't think they will, run anything that Nebraska has not seen. There was a little discussion point yesterday that Northwestern had a couple of things that Nebraska had not practiced against.
Yeah, well, that's a given in the opener, right?
The bigger thing to me was, and I don't know if it was the stadium where coaches were located, but apparently some of the play calls on defense were late getting in.
Yeah.
That was a consistent problem from the beginning of the game to the end of the game.
So, and it's only because it was a top 3 concern for me defensively was safety play, right? So I'm paying attention more than I normally would. Usually I'm closer to the interior of the line. But if I had to put a number, I'm going to say, don't hold me to it, roughly a third of the time, which is a high number. I felt like pre-snap safeties were either trying to get themselves lined up or get other guys lined up, which is why I'm, for the moment, I'm going to reserve judgment about Nebraska's athleticism, because I think when you're unsure, you just naturally look slow.
Yes, the mental
You,
part.
you just do, because you're uncertain and you can't play fast. But I am holding in the back of my mind just how twitchy and athletic Nebraska is, especially defensively, right? Because I hate to be the Sheryl Crow, Kid Rock guy, where you're just like studying pictures. But there were too many times when the stuff was tweeted out.
Yeah.
And I'm weird, man. It's self-admitted.
You're on a roll today.
No,
You're
listen
checking
to
off
me
the
though,
bingo
because
card.
I'm fired up about this, because I think it matters. As I kind of stand up in the studio, I'll get on film later. I just like to wait until I settle down, because you guys are going to think I'm on crack. But when guys are tagging off,
Fifth straight week crack has been mentioned on the show.
when guys are tagging off in practice
Mm-hmm.
and you're not getting to the hip, you're not practicing fast enough, because you're not there. Just imagine you're playing tag and you're kind of repping, and you never touch the people that are playing in the game. When the gym teacher, or however it is that you're playing tag, you're out there in the front yard and you're like, okay, this one's for real, and you're not used to touching people, you can't get there.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not going to get there real time, because you're not seeing quick enough collisions. You cannot shoot your shot without having seen it a ton. Yeah, you may want to say, oh man, Luke Reimer, because I kept hearing this. Oh, your boy Luke Reimer, you called him a Sunday guy. Listen, here's the thing about Reimer. Fantastic athlete. It's almost like he doesn't see the live stuff enough. Right? If you're playing a puller, or you have to beat a pull, or you're giving a pull call, and you have to fit that window, you have to go now. And if you don't go now in practice, you're not going to go now against a very well coached offensive line.
Half-second, you're blown up.
So you just hear my heart though. I'm not necessarily criticizing the way that they practice, but when I hear Quentin Newsom say what you've been chomping at the bit to say,
We're
which
gonna
is
talk about that right after 7 is what they did in camp.
You're going to get a good idea what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. So another part of what Caleb Tanner said yesterday, and I'm glad he said a lot of stuff out loud, and it goes back to, I'm watching Miles Farmer on Saturday with some young pups that are around him. So Caleb Tanner said, and you wonder, is it just as simple as do your job? Do your job. And I think he's talking to guys that he's out on the field with that don't need assistance. So where I got a job to do as a safety, so I've got to focus on, okay, what am I doing on this defense? What am I seeing? But now I got to make sure that that guy moves up 2 yards next to me so he's in a good position. I mean, he's saying, hey, if you're on the field for a reason, you got to get lined up to start with. That's one of those things that we kind of overlook.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
We do initially.
No, it's
but then you
not.
think about it, you pull back the layers and you go, simple guys not being able to line up is such a crucial thing. And I hear Travis Fisher talk about it a lot with his guys. That if we say, hey, if someone calls up the show and says, hey, why is blank not playing? I bet we could say, because he doesn't know how to line up when they call it defense.
Listen. He's
He's an incredible athlete, but he know where he's going when they say, hey, this is what we're going to run on defense. And he's not in that spot of the field.
You've heard us talk about it before, and people call it, they have different acronyms for it. I always say AAT. Alignment, assignment, technique. How do I get lined up? What's my assignment? Coaches will teach you the technique. It has to go in that order.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get lined up, you cannot play fast. I say it to our youth team. I say it to our high school team. If we're wrong We need to be wrong together. If we're going to be wrong together. I want all 11 guys being wrong together. Just one is a killer, because at least if you're wrong together, everybody's probably moving at the same speed. Especially if you gap teams out or you two gap and you have to hold at the point of attack, the minute you hesitate against a well-coached team, they're in your living room. It's like constantly playing in 3D where everything's always coming at you. And at some point, if you don't have the mental makeup to hang in there, you wilt because you just succumb to it. But you can counterbalance it if you feel good about what you're doing, because at least you can play fast. When you can't play fast and you feel overwhelmed, I mean, you get the fourth quarter. That's how it happens sequentially. There were a couple of times, and I get it, right? You're going to see a couple of looks. I felt like Northwestern was really, really good in terms of formationing Nebraska to death. But you have to have base rules, right? Okay, hey, listen. If this looks like a 3x1, if this looks like a 2x2, if this is unbalanced, who's eligible, who isn't, where are my threats? Because no defense can take away everything. There are some defenses, two, you leave yourself open to anything up the hash, the tight end game. You got linebackers playing deep hole. Okay, that's you're vulnerable. You play trap 2, it's like, okay, 2 can dink with me. If you play palms, it's like, oh, what am I going to do on the backside? If I'm in cover 3, it's like, ooh, what happens when I get all verticals? If I'm in an under front, I'm probably really good against weak side run game. I may be a little bit vulnerable at the point of attack. Everything has their thing. How do you complement it, though? And that's where I think Nebraska getting more reps defensively will help them. I'm gonna say this, and I hope I don't regret it. Knowing Coach Chinander, I think, given what we saw on Saturday, that will be as unorganized and as bad as you'll see that defense play. Now, statistically, they play a better team where you can't do anything about it. That's different than just the inability to adjust. I think he will adjust. Now, what kind of defense they'll play going forward, I'm not sure, but he's too good of a mind, and guys can always get more reps, right? Like if I see a tackle and he's eligible on the backside because they're trying to dink with me about being unbalanced, I know right away in my head, I'm not treating that guy as an eligible receiver. He's not going to get vertical on me. I don't have to honor that by being 14 yards off the ball. I'm going to screw my ass down into the box and play defense. I don't want my end being a box guy to pullers with no leverage. I can't have guards pulling up on corners. I'm not playing to my strength.
Nope. Those are bad. That's a bad screenshot.
But I guarantee you, well, I shouldn't guarantee it. In my heart of hearts, I think, you know what? They'll play that differently next time because they've seen it.
We're together on this on defense. I'm open-minded that schematically they will find a way. Now, personnel-wise, those issues
different. That's different.
Schematically, they will find a way to help themselves.
I agree. Completely.
So that's why I have an open mind on the defense moving forward.
Completely agree. I trust Coach Chinander.
All right, coming up after the top of the hour, we'll tell you what Quentin Newsom said that's kind of leading ahead of our conversation that we're having now about defense and reps and what happened on Saturday. We will do that as we close in on the start of the college football season, week number 1. Tomorrow night, there's a nice little slate of games, the Backyard Brawl.
Is it Thursday already?
It's almost. Purdue and Penn State, and then a fantastic. I mean, we get college football tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
No, I'm happy.
It's back, and the NFL is right around the corner.
I'm really happy.
Your favorite Raider early draft pick is right in the unemployment line?
Nope, not. I'm not.
Yes, he is.
I'm not a Raiders fan. It doesn't mean a hill of beans to me.
Can Mayock and Gruden come back and run the personnel department, please? Sharp betting in the morning at 1620 The Zone.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. After Nebraska plays on Saturday, you'll wake up on Sunday morning with a severe reaction. Michael Severe returns to 1620 The Zone, and he won't hold back about what went right and what went wrong during the game. He'll also take calls from the most important voice of all, yours, Severe Reaction. Sundays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., powered by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, only on 1620 The Zone.
By now, you know that sound. It's the sound of the Home Depot. But what about those sounds? Those are the sounds of the Samsung Bespoke Refrigerator's Beverage Center with internal water dispenser and built-in pitcher with flavor infuser for crisp, refreshing water. Making this the sound of savings on top brand appliances. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Save up to $1,201 on this Samsung Bespoke Refrigerator at the Home Depot. Offer valid August 25th through September 14th. See store or online for details.
Get a full breakdown of what went right and what went wrong immediately after every Nebraska game with Big Red Overreaction. Presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. And by Coors Light, keeping Nebraska chill. Also brought to you by Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and more. Join the show immediately after the game and sound off with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Big Red Overreaction on 1019 The Keg and 1620 The Zone.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've been dissatisfied with your current banking situation, maybe it's time to move to a bank that works to deserve your business. We have an engaged staff that offers exceptional personalized service. We also have a great digital banking platform. We have 2 locations at 108th and Dodge or 202nd and Pacific. So if you're looking for a superior banking relationship, give us a call at 402-827-8100. We'll answer on the first ring. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
We are Lus Hills Harley Davidson, and we buy bikes. Fall is a great time to sell your bike. Use the money for the Christmas fund, maybe a vacation, whatever you want. Lus Hills Harley Davidson will buy your bike. Click LusHillsHD.com for all the details and catch on to the fun fall stuff coming up. Lus Hills Harley Davidson, I-29 and Highway 34, south of Council Bluffs. Your home in the hills. Rise up and ride on.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right. Free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Sharp and betting in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app.
JoJo Domann makes the Colts undrafted. Torrey makes the Packers. Both not a surprise that they are going to open up next week in the NFL.
Oh, I like that. That's my hey, no, that's the way I like to
good.
roll.
Hey, you're good.
Hey, see, I'm already gonna like him. I'm already gonna like him.
Hey, as the man said, let there be light.
Oh, another biblical reference.
That's how we had to finish this hour.
Well, on the 7th day, what did we make? Is it a day of rest?
Chick-fil-A closed.
Day of football.
Quentin Newsom had a thing or two to say yesterday that kind of answered something we've talked about.
I'm Sharpie here for Chick-fil-A. Hey, one of our guys is working there, or was. See if he's still employed. Stop. I'm just saying. It's my guy, though.
1620, The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. We have no accidents to report at this time, but you can expect just a little bit of slowdown from 96 to 83rd along L. Then along Dodge, be prepared for a little bit of slowdown from 94th to 90th. And then on Center, be prepared for a little bit of a slowdown from 192nd to 180th. As always, remember to stay safe and wear your seatbelts. I'm Chris Scott. This time-saving traffic was brought to you by Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More.
The dog days of summer are here, and Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More is offering a special $55 AC system check. Each system check donates 10 pounds of pet food to the Nebraska Humane Society. Give us a call or request service at justcallburton.com.
College football is in full swing this week, and FanDuel wants you to be ready for game day when college football kicks off all the way. Right now, new customers can get $150 in free bets guaranteed for week one. Just place a $5 bet, and you can get $150 in free bets, win or lose. You can bet college football any way you'd like. Take a look at all the big games this weekend. We have Oregon and Georgia. We have Notre Dame, Ohio State. Jump in on one of those same game parlays as well. The options are endless, and if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, now is the perfect time. Right at the start of football season, the app, easy to use, and when you win, you get paid fast. So see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel app today and sign up with promo code HAPPER, HAPPER, and place a $5 bet to get $150 in free bets guaranteed to kick off the college football season with promo code HAPPER. 21 plus, present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued with non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
You want to go to a professional sporting event, you want to go to a college sporting event, you want to go to a play, you want to go to a concert. Go where I go, ticketsforless.com. When I'm looking to find the best seats to the show or the big game, I go to ticketsforless.com. Formerly Ticket Express, same great customer service, and most importantly with ticketsforless.com, no outrageous ticket fees when you get ready to check out. The ticket price you see is always the price you pay. Unlike the other guys, they don't tack on a per ticket service fee at checkout. It's ticketsforless.com. Get yourself in the game today.
TrackPhone wants to know, are you an influencer, a big live streamer? No? Then guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TrackPhone's $40 unlimited talk and text smartphone plan. Now with 8 gigs of high-speed data and unlimited carryover on America's largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at trackphone.com.
It happens every day, and homeowners are victims every time, unless they call us. Hi, this is Garen Armstrong with Shamrock Roofing. Recently, a local homeowner with an aging roof had 2 well-known roofing companies out. Neither found hail damage for an insurance claim, but both happily submitted bids for a new roof. Then the homeowner called Shamrock Roofing. We found significant hail damage and sat with the homeowner when he filed his claim. We were there again when the insurance adjuster came out. And when the insurance company tried to deny the claim, the homeowner appealed with his evidence from Shamrock. The insurance company then approved the full claim for a new roof. Shamrock Roofing helped the homeowner get his roof when the other roofing companies could not. That is exactly why we say call Shamrock Roofing first, especially if you're wondering about possible wind or hail damage. If you have it, we'll find it. One call does it all. Call Shamrock Roofing today or find us online at shamrockroofer.com.
Let's face it, food shortages are a real threat now. Supply chain breakdowns, inflation, fuel prices, global conflicts, fertilizer cutbacks, farmers being encouraged not to plant. The stage is set for the peanut butter to hit the fan. But for some reason, Americans are still in denial about food shortages. Listen, we don't take risks with other things in our lives, so why take risks with your food security? Those who know what's coming are using today to prepare. Millions of Americans have purchased Ready Hour emergency food from My Patriot Supply, the brand people look for when they're ready for real preparedness. MyPatriotSupply.com is America's largest preparedness company. Get stocked up on emergency food that lasts up to 25 years in storage to get you through tough times ahead. Your other choice is to stand in government food lines, hoping for a handout. As we both know, that's not an option. Go to mypatriotsupply.com right now. mypatriotsupply.com.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, use my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.73% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money at a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 5.73% APR to 19.99% APR and includes 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
All right, crew, let's get her dug.
Honey, you want to give me a hand? I'm planting that tree, remember?
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 business days before any digging project, so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. This includes natural gas and petroleum pipelines, electric, communication cables, and water and sewer lines. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Sharp and Benning in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app. Here are Gary Sharp and Damon Benning.
Who's to say it's not settled? I'm just not making any announcements because it's fruitless for us. We just got work ahead of us, and so that's not kind of on our agenda to make any announcements to feed the beast. We don't care about the beast.
Hey, Kenny Pickett, enjoy your opening day start
that
for the
is
Steelers.
my man, Mike Tomlin. We don't care about the beast. We ain't trying to feed that bad boy.
Hey, as we welcome back into hour number 2 of Sharp and Betting in the Morning, there's David. I'm Gary Chance here as well. Of all the marquee games this weekend in college football, and here in the Big Ten, you got 13 teams that are playing. Northwestern has off. Are we going to have time to discuss the awkwardness of New Mexico State and Minnesota, where the head coach at New Mexico State, and they've already played a game, is a guy by the name of Jerry Kill.
Yeah.
So Jerry Kill is going back to Minnesota, where he has an affinity for Minnesota. Remember Jerry Soda, all the gear we got when we were at Big Ten Media Days one year? He said that his family, him and his family, have never recovered from his exit in 2015 for health reasons. Now, Fleck comes in, Tracy Claeys was the interim. Fleck comes in, and, Fleck used to work for Kill, and they've known each other for years, but Kill has taken every opportunity to take cracks at Fleck. He's calling him selfish, egotistical, especially the way he treated some of Kill's former staff when he took over from Western Michigan. That he doesn't know if they would shake hands. Fleck said yesterday, I've never not shook hands with a coach. I imagine that Jerry Kill will shake hands, but that is kind of an awkward storyline game that will fly under the radar of New Mexico State, Minnesota, that they are playing, that Jerry Kill and PJ Fleck are going against each other in a stadium where, even though Fleck has lifted Minnesota to some heights they haven't had in a long time, there is still an affection for Jerry Kill.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't been there for a while.
Won a lot, which is weird too, because Flex had more success.
Yeah. And, and that becomes a strictly, hey, I like Jerry Kill's personality. Good guy.
And you know what? That may be
and Kill was successful, but not to where Fleck has been.
Yeah, and I think it's more about what the fan base gravitates towards in terms of style and approach.
But they both have, I mean, more Kill than Fleck have. Kill has taken a crack at Fleck and talked about how much he loved Minnesota. All right, coming up a little bit later, Brandon Vogel from Hail Varsity will join us. He is back from Dublin. Later this morning, it is a Whipple and Shenander Day in Lincoln. Imagine, come with the good questions, because I think there are some good questions to be asked of both coordinators after what happened on Saturday, and we can get some explanation a little bit more on what they saw, maybe some personnel decisions, those kind of things. But going back to Saturday, we've been telling you about something Quentin Newsome said yesterday. And it kind of, I don't know, do I use the word, Damon, validate what you and I were talking about on Monday? Or what we saw from
Monday.
The conditioning and tackling, and how some of the stuff that happened on Saturday we could have seen, we knew was coming, and then others that it was predetermined by the way that you take care of business in the offseason.
Again, my man Sean Fisher said it best. Sometimes you think you know what you're seeing, you just wait for confirmation. With this particular example, I just waited for confirmation.
So Quentin Newsome was asked about the poor tackling. What you're going to hear is his explanation, which was not just about Saturday when Nebraska allowed 3.2 yards after contact.
I wouldn't say that was a big issue. That just happened. I mean, it's football. It happens. The coaches, they got a job just like us, and I wouldn't say that was a problem for us. I would say that just happened probably just really once or twice, and that's just things that guys got to get used to, because sometimes offenses are moving really fast. We got to see personnel and this and that, and then sometimes you just gotta be ready for when the ball snaps.
Okay, there's another quote, Chance, that pertains to not going through numerous padded practices in camp because they wanted to keep the players' bodies fresh.
Yeah, I almost thought we had that down.
Yeah, so find that cut, and we'll play that. But so Quentin Newsome said yesterday, along the whole tackling stuff and the defense getting better, is he said that they scaled back on padded practices to keep bodies fresh.
And in the meantime, Chance, do you have Caleb Tanner queued up? Minute 20 to minute 49. All right, we'll get back to you on that one.
So this time of the year, you're the freshest that you're going to be as your body. Okay, before the season unfolds, and it's the rigor, and it's week after week, it's Saturday after Saturday. But this is the time of the year that your body is so fresh. So your discussion point in the last hour about seeing stuff in practice at full speed where you're ready. Okay, so you've been doing that, so that's ingrained, and you know what the game speed looks like. When you're not tackling, and they cut back on tackling as well, with tackling and padded practices, gosh, the poor tackling and the hesitation and not being full speed or confident when you run something that you're going to get into your fit or whatever you're being asked to do, we have our answer. We have our answer. And it was Quentin Newsome who basically told you that they cut back during camp. Now, is that they want to keep bodies fresh? Guys weren't fully in shape or whatever, but there was a direct result on Saturday.
Yeah, it's such a collaborative effort where everybody's kind of moving in the same direction. And it's not necessarily about individual finger pointing, because I feel like we've talked about strength and conditioning before. It started with Coach P and his strength and conditioning staff doing what they were asked to do at the behest of those in charge. So everybody's got to be on the same page before we try to assess individual blame, because now it's, well, is it such and such fault, or is it such a Chance? Are we ready with that audio? No, not yet. Is it such and such's fault? It's a collaborative effort. We're still looking for Quentin Newsome. He doesn't talk that long, so stay with that. Where you want everybody kind of going in the same direction before we're like, I want to get this guy. I want a pound of flesh from this guy. I want a pound of flesh from this guy. So when you hear multiple players talk about tackling or conditioning or being able to move fast, that wasn't just a Saturday thing. Going 3 days on, 1 day off was not just a Saturday thing. That kind of stuff was birthed from seeing what was going on early in camp. Have to work backwards. It's not, you don't use camp to get in shape. You go back to the off season to figure out where you're at. Set it on Monday. The players validated. It's not DB just, going hard in the paint or Sharpie losing his mind or media. The players are letting you know what's going on if you're just willing to listen. We'll grab that audio for you.
So let me ask a question here, because now you turn around and you play Saturday. You turn around, you play the following Saturday. You turn around, you play the next Saturday before you have your first bye week. If I'm struggling and I'm not yet where I need to be in game shape, how much different am I going to look from Saturday in Ireland to Saturday in Lincoln?
Yeah, I go back. I'm not,
because I imagine
I'm
that they are not
sure-
going full speed this week.
I'm not sure where I'm at with what Scott Shanley said to us on Monday. I'm still trying to reconcile that in my head, where he talks about getting into game shape over the first 3 weeks of a season, right? There is rigor where your body gets accustomed to it, but the fitness thing, you need a basic starting point that you can expound on. And that basic starting point has to have a high enough threshold that allows you to have some success. If you're starting behind, in week 3, you're just playing catch up. If you start with a certain baseline that gives you a chance to win in the opener, then you're enhancing. We'll see where Nebraska is with that. Because I don't think you know. I don't think you know until you see it.
All right, 7:22. We'll grab more audio because Caleb Tanner had a comment about this as well that starts to answer some questions. Plus, Casey Thompson was asked about the interception when he was looking for Oliver Martin. He'll explain that, and then you'll have to explain to me. Maybe I missed this, and I wasn't taken aback or whatever. I had not heard anybody of late really ask Casey Thompson about Texas, but he took it upon himself yesterday just to say, hey, you know what? I play at Nebraska. Good luck to the guys at Texas. I'm telling you, the people in Texas will be Casey Thompson's biggest fan on September 17th. But that just kind of, I hadn't heard anybody around here asking him a lot about Texas since spring camp. But he said it after, as he got done yesterday. But he also said something about the interception to Oliver Martin, which will maybe start to fill in some blanks. All right, we'll do all of that when we return. Sharp Betting in the Morning on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on the crossover.
What the hell? I'm busy.
I'm busy
on Sundays.
I'm busy.
This is pathetic.
Nick, how busy were you?
Laundry. I had so much laundry.
Okay, you're watching TV.
You don't stand there and watch the laundry, do you? My God. That's pathetic. That's pathetic.
Sharp and Betting in the Morning. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Comfortable start Wednesday with temperatures in the 50s and lower 60s. We'll see tons of sunshine throughout the day, though turning hot in the afternoon. Highs topping out in the low 90s. We should stay dry into the evening with a slight chance of a shower or storm west of the metro. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burden AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. We have no accidents to report at this time, but you can expect just a little bit of slowdown from 96 to 83rd along L. Then along Dodge, be prepared for a little bit of slowdown from 94th to 90th. And then on Center, be prepared for a little bit of a slowdown from 192nd to 180th. As always, remember to stay safe and wear your seatbelts. I'm Chris Scott. This time-saving traffic was brought to you by IBEW Local 22.
IBEW has immediate openings for residential electricians. You'll receive top pay, fully funded family health care, retirement benefits, and up to a $1,000 sign-up bonus. Invest in yourself with IBEW Local 22. Call 402-810-0789 now.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. It has been a great summer, but a new school year. The fall, crisp, cool weather will be upon us before you know it, and it is time for you to transition into crisp, clear vision. Who can help you do that? Of course, the fine folks at Kugler Vision, voted Best of Omaha, #1 LASIK provider in Omaha Magazine. They changed my life in 2018. They can change your life today. Visit their website, schedule a consultation, KuglerVision.com.
Hi, everybody. Gary Sharp. You know, if you've been in Nebraska for a while and you love going to sporting events and you're getting your hands on the best tickets, there's a good chance you bought them from Ticket Express. Well, I'm here to tell you that Ticket Express has a new name. It's Tickets for Less. So if you've loved the quality customer service and the community feel that Ticket Express has brought us over the past 3 decades, have no fear. Tickets for Less is going to be here with the same energy and the same selection. Ticketsforless.com. Always the best seats at the best prices to your favorite sporting events. And if you ever need anything, just give them a call. 402-398-1999 and tell them Gary sent you.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for telling my family and me about Toyota's national sales event. We got a new RAV4 during the event, and it's been great.
Well, that makes me happy. Right now through September 6th, it is the best time to drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more. So what are you up to?
You know, we took the RAV4 to a great spot, and now we're exploring a cave.
Amazing.
Yeah, my wife talked me into spelunking. I'm actually a complete and absolute amateur. Huh, I could have done without the echo on that.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 6th.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, or Baxter Toyota of La Vista.
We are getting so close to the NFL season, so you have to be ready. You got to be locked in when week 1 kicks off, and you can do that with America's #1 sportsbook. That is the FanDuel Sportsbook. You can join today and get started with $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. All you got to do is sign up with promo code HAPPER to get in on the action. You can turn game day into payday all season long. Now is the right time. Get in on a future. You can turn those big odds into cash. Play your way and bet on more than just the final score, of course. Wager on everything from touchdowns, total yards to catches. That's the best part of the FanDuel Sportsbook. You go inside the game with same-game parlays. So do not miss out on your chance to get $150 in free bets, win or lose, with promo code HAPPER, HAPPER. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
You can join us every week for the Sharp and Betting podcast. It's Sharp and Betting. We got a podcast driven by our good friends at Woodhouse Auto Family.
Yeah, the cool thing about it is we'll get more in depth on a lot of your favorite topics, have a guest or two, and just might drop some nuggets of information that you've never heard before.
Wherever you get your podcasts, just look for Sharp and Betting. We got a podcast driven by Woodhouse Auto Family each Friday. You can find it on the Sharp and Betting show page on 1620thezone.com. It's Sharp and Betting. We got a podcast.
With video games, I'm often choosing between what my kids want and what I think is best for them. Hey, Mom, how about this one? Rated T for teen with violence and suggestive themes. Let me check the rating summary. Frenetic combat, cries of pain, female warlords expose cleavage. Maybe the other one's better. The rating summaries are free. Use them, and you'll be armed with the world's most powerful weapon, knowledge.
For more information, go to esrb.org.
Sunday morning is all about church, eggs, and the Sunday paper. But right next to church, it's made for hot takes and reactions. Severe reactions. Michael Severe is back on 1620 The Zone with Severe Reaction. Sundays 8 to 10 and doesn't hold back on what went right and what went wrong on Saturday. He'll also take calls from the most important voice of all, yours. Severe Reaction, Sundays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Powered by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Only on 1620 The Zone.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Sharp and Betting in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app.
So teams in the NFL yesterday got down to 53. That's a brutal day for some, as over 1,000 players are told that they are not wanted, or we may bring you back, or we're opening a spot for somebody else. But I always wonder, when you have Mondays and Tuesdays before the start of the season in the NFL, how many are really surprises? 20 out of that amount of players that you go, whoa, I can't believe the Chiefs let Josh Gordon go, or I can't believe the Raiders let their number one draft pick from last year go. 20? Say 20, probably over 1,000 cuts on the final time as surprises. Welcome back in, Sharp Betting in the morning. There is the coordinator speaking in Lincoln today ahead of North Dakota and Nebraska. Week number 1, college football kicks off in a big way tomorrow. We'll talk more about those games on Thursday. Purdue and Penn State, the backyard brawl, and then the season is here. But we've been talking this morning about some of the things that were said yesterday, trying to answer some questions on what happened on Saturday. Let's go back. So this is the Quentin Newsome response to a question about tackling, and it leads to why Nebraska was not as synced in tackling as they've been.
I would say just finishing tackles. It was first game, so, coaches want to keep our body fresh. So coming into the game, we weren't doing too much tackling just to make sure everybody was good physically. But I would say, yes, that we need to work on our tackling.
And now they have a game under the belt of full speed.
Full speed, right? Chance? Go to Caleb Tanner, another captain, doubling down on what was said about practice tempo and tackling.
Typically, you want to see from the defense as far as improvement goes on Saturday.
But specifically, probably just fixing the corrections from last game. That's always the first step. Come back Sunday, Monday, fix the corrections, see where we was wrong at. We can always do better running to the ball. That's number one. That's defense right there, running to the ball. We can always do better at tackling. So just get my guys ready to practice going hard from the jump, like Monday through Saturday. That's what it is, practicing like a pro. And that's what I'm trying to get my guys to do.
What you saw throughout fall camp.
Hey, so there's a follow-up there about fall camp. Let that go.
What you saw throughout fall camp, what was the biggest difference on game day?
What was the biggest difference? like I said, I don't feel like it was just no different. It's just like I said, it wasn't no difference, boss. We went out there, we worked hard. I felt like we put out all in, but we just came up short. And like I said, I take full responsibility. We just didn't do
not a hey man, these guys are hammering. You're hearing exactly what the problems are. There's just no two ways around it, right? But if you want to be encouraged, because I'm in the solutions business as opposed to just stating the obvious, those are correctable. See, Nebraska's at a point right now. I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave this right here. If it's truly do or die, which we believe that it is, there, not to quote a corny line from Rocky 3, but there really is no tomorrow, right? You have to practice in such a way. You cannot save guys. You cannot keep this guy fresh. Listen, that hasn't worked. If it is a truly next man up philosophy and you want the best results possible, you have to lay it on the line Monday through Friday. This isn't DB tough guy lip service. This has withstood the test of time throughout years and years of football. Don't tell me you got depth. Don't tell me you can play multiple guys. Then try to keep guys fresh because you don't want to bang them during the course of a week of practice and think that you're going to roll the goddamn ball out and be fine. When you move a few dishes, you're going to get a few breaks. Get another dish. Get another dish. You don't have to eat all fine china every day. Sometimes you got to use the breakables. See, the breakables allow you to eat and move fast and keep it pushing. The breakables are for special occasions. Stop worrying about fine china and get guys ready to play where you can play at a speed that gives you a chance to win. You can't win like that. You can't. And it shouldn't be a deal where if you like Ernest Hausman, or you like Maga Clements, or you like Rook Reimer, or you like Nick Henrich, don't worry about breaking fine china. You have to play it such a way that gives you a chance to win. How many defensive guys got to tell you you need to practice different? We need to work on tackling. And I know tackling can subside. It's the given. Everybody deals with it at every level, from youth to high school, to college, to pro. Game one, what do defensive coaches worry about? They worry about tackling. Why? Because they don't want to break out the fine china before you eat the very first meal. Occasionally, you got to have multiple pieces of dinnerware that you can use. You have to coach your way into having options. Some guys should have taken a seat and watched what was going on just for a second so they could understand game tempo, because it's not their fault. It's not their fault. Because when you're doing things, it can feel right to you because you have no other barometer to gauge it through. It can feel right to, hey, man, muscle memory, man, I'm good. I was working on my two-punch combination. Hey, listen, I'm outside that foot. I'm outside that front foot. I'm using my jab, right? Until you get a guy that's a little quicker with the jab, right? It felt right to you at the time till you got out there and gauged it. At some point, you have to be able to gauge it. So overemphasize it. I don't know what the philosophy was behind 3 days on and 1 day off. Never heard of such a thing. I haven't. But I trust it because, hey, man, if you think that that's what's best for your team, but after the first day of camp and you're saying, hey, listen, we think this is what's best for our guys.
Adjust.
Come on, man. Like, you can't be at that stage. Not with what's on the line. Not with what's on the line.
And both of those guys yesterday told you what they wanted leading up to the season.
Hey, listen, all kids want to be led. I said that since we've been working together, coming out of education. Deep down, kids may give you pushback and they may whine a little bit, but at the end of the day, people want to be led. The 48-year-old at his job wants good leadership. The 61-year-old on his job wants good leadership. You best believe the 21-year-old on the job wants good leadership. I don't know how else to say it.
That to me was the most important thing to come out of yesterday.
Defensively.
Yeah. We'll get to
That's
the
why
offense.
we'll get to the offense. That's why I feel like what they're doing is correctable. You have to change your mindset. You do. It's go time. It's go time. You have to change the way you think. If we're wrong together, but you have to shoot your shot. Just play fast doing it. If you get smoked, you get smoked. But you got to lay it on the line. You have to lay it on. You can't play in the Big Ten any other way.
After Nebraska plays on Saturday, you'll wake up on Sunday morning with a severe reaction. Michael Severe returns to 1620 The Zone, and he won't hold back about what went right and what went wrong during the game. He'll also take calls from the most important voice of all, yours, Severe Reaction. Sundays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., powered by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, only on 1620 The Zone.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
This is Darcy with Dingman's Collision Center. We have run our business for years by helping the vehicle owner retain the value of their vehicle by working for them with warranted, safe, high-standard repairs. For this reason, Omaha vehicle owners have chosen Dingman's to repair their vehicles. Your loyalty has been shown through repeat business and amazing referrals. You've also voted us first place Best of Omaha for the past 17 years. We want to say thank you for choosing the Dingman family and our incredible technicians to repair your vehicles. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less.
Question 5. Lucas and Carla have 3 homework assignments each. Lucas does his online at home, but Carla has no internet at home. If Carla has to travel 5 miles to find Wi-Fi at a noisy diner or a grocery store parking lot, how can she ever be expected to do well in school?
This is not a problem kids should have to solve. Cox Connect to Compete, providing affordable internet to lower-income students. Available to new residential Cox Internet customers who meet eligibility criteria. Other restrictions apply.
Bill Jones.
And Olivia.
Here for Jones Bros Cupcakes. Have you tried our new chimney cones yet, Olivia?
They are so yummy.
Chimney cones are stacked on a sugar-coated croissant cone with gelato. We have flavors like birthday cake, strawberries and cream, s'mores, salted caramel, and more.
I love the birthday cake chimney cone topped with a mini cupcake. So good.
Come see us at Jones Bros Cupcakes and Cafe in Exarban Village.
We appreciate your support.
Like bones, your teeth lose density and become weaker over time, which can lead to tooth decay. And that can make your visit to the dentist feel like this. But if you want your dental visit to feel like this, try Crest Densify. Crest Densify actively rebuilds tooth density to extend the life of teeth by remineralizing enamel. Densify from Crest, the #1 toothpaste brand in America. Smile, Crest has you covered.
Your exclusive home for Royals baseball in Omaha.
Right up the middle, base hit, and the Royals are winner.
1620 The Zone.
Sharpen betting in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app.
Something to watch going into the North Dakota game this weekend. Travis Vokalek, day to day.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know, man.
You say we got you this weekend. Have a seat. We don't need you out there playing on that ankle.
Man, I'm totally speculating, but man, they probably shut him down.
I think that's the right move.
They probably shut him down. Like,
he's too valuable.
Yeah, but they're in a catch-22. You can't play the long game because time is of the essence, but you have to be smart too. So, again, yeah, that's where you train in such a way where time doesn't matter. I love Coach Becton. He can coach his ass off. Borkacher's got to get ready. AJ Rollins has got to get ready. Chris Hickman has got to do the things off the field to give himself a chance to play on the field. Carney, that's why you recruit.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you recruit. I joked about this probably.
Recruit where you can also overcome an injury.
8-9 years ago,
Two
man,
injuries,
where I
'cause
said
you're gonna have
Nebraska at some point has to get to the point where one guy playing or not playing is not detrimental to their health. You just can't have it. Not in this league. Not in this league.
And again, in this case, before Vokalek is on the shelf, you got Fedoni. So you have to find a way to overcome that, and I got to overcome two guys. Omar Manning was back yesterday. That's great. I don't know what his usage rate will be like on Saturday, but he was back practicing yesterday after not suiting up for the opening game of the season. All right, Brandon Vogel is going to join us a little bit later. We'll get his thoughts on Ireland and post moving into the North Dakota game. What job number one, besides a victory, pass rush, run game, organization, motivation, all of those things that go into Nebraska trying to get to 1-1 on the season. Chad the Cop wants to quote stuff from Rocky III. Quote, "Nothing is real if you don't believe in yourself."
Yeah.
Rocky III, not bad.
Rocky III was great. Hey, woman. Hey, woman. My man said, I bet you stay up at night wishing you had a real man. He said, bring your pretty little self on over here. I'll show you a real man. You want to fight? Yeah, so I don't know what the equivalent is to Saturday, but don't think, and you can call it a cliche, you can roll your eyes all you want to. If you're rolling your eyes, you've never competed at anything a day in your life. Don't for 1 minute think North Dakota isn't thinking to themselves, Nebraska is ripe for the pickings. And at some point, it can't be about what other people think about you. It has to be what you think about you. It's not about North Dakota. It's about, are you the best version of yourself? Stop talking about the opponent and waiting on the opponent. Simply ask yourself, are you the best version of yourself? You sleep better at night. You sleep better at night. And here's the beauty of it. If you fail in this weird, twisted, sick way, it's freeing because you know, hey man, that's as good as I can do. Better man, better person. I couldn't handle the situation, whatever. It is built-in self-inventory. If at the end of the day, you can say, am I the best version of myself? Trust me, you'll get to rim if you can think like that.
What's your prediction for the fight?
Pain. How was that?
It was okay. I was supposed to. There's another quote after that.
You know what makes me the most fired up is we're talking about competitiveness and development. And everybody keeps asking me, well, how much of that is mental? How much of that is mental? You guys got to understand where I'm coming from, or maybe you don't. Your mind, life is tough. It is super cruel. And there are people that are more talented than you. There are people that are smarter than you. There are people that have more advantages than you. But guess what you get to control? Your own mind. And the minute you free yourself up to think like that, you'll quit with the goddamn pity parties and you'll start to maximize. Stop giving other people power to influence the way that you approach your job. It's an excuse. You only get to control you. God, that's a blessing. Try living in a country where people tell you what to do and how to do it. That sucks. But here, if you want to be tough, you get to go be tough. If you want to turtle up and go sit in the corner, you can turtle your ass up and go sit in the corner. If you want to put your hands up and fight, you can. People will let you be on your merry way. That is a blessing. If you want to get up and go to work and go do something, you can. This isn't some motivational, inspirational talk. I'm telling you what's withstood the test of time. If you succumb, it forever will be. If you put your hands up and fight, you give yourself a fighting chance. You may get your ass knocked out. But man, it feels a lot better than not fighting at all.
See that look in their eyes, Damon?
I feel like
you got to get that look back, Damon.
It
I have a tiger.
It hurt. Caleb Tanner was a painful listen. It hurts your heart as a competitor and a coach that when you're searching for answers because the moment got you, you have to put your hands up and fight. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you, man. These folks are just piling on and piling on and piling on. Man, listen, at some point, it boils down to pride. There is no whining to us. There is no, hey, I'm all for guys saying, hey, listen, I want to see our coach happy again. I want to see our coach smiling again. In the same vein, that's cool. You can want that to be true. But you know what I'd start with saying? Hey, as long as I'm the best version of myself, that's all I can do. Start there. Subconsciously, it'll change the way that you go to work. You won't do things for affirmation. You'll be affirmed by knowing you laid it on the line.
Well, eliminate a lot of stuff, a little noise.
Listen to what I just told you, though. You won't do things for affirmation. You'll know that you laid it on the line. You sleep better. You sleep better. I'll stop being mad at running backs because they're better than I am, and I'll be able to say at some point, hey, you know what? The best version of me isn't good enough to beat that guy out, but there's nothing else I can do but continue to be ready. When I came to that realization, it's freeing. Guy was better than me. I don't spend time in rooms looking at pictures and sulking and punching walls because somebody did something to me. He's better than me, but I laid it on the line. I'm telling you, it's rewarding.
And need more of those guys.
It's rewarding.
That's why that's the Caleb Tanner raw motion yesterday. Perfect. Thank you.
And what do you do with it?
Well,
I'm Team Tanner.
He's doing it with it. He's speaking to. He's got some influence now. Can he have people that follow his lead? That's the next step. Because he says it and then lives it. Because he's been there and he's crossed over. Now can people follow what he does? I mean, you can tell that it means something to him. I mean, it hurt. The Northwestern playing Saturday at 2:30 isn't going to change what happened last Saturday. That's going to linger for that kid. That's going to linger for that kid a long time. How many other guys on that roster? That's going to be the same thing. Even if they win, even if they start to grab some success, that Saturday in Ireland is going to stick with them. Not just erased because, hey, we went out and played a game and then we won. That's going to stick with them, and that's going to drive them, and they're going to learn from it. That's someone that when he talked yesterday, I believe he may turn out to have a fantastic all Big Ten season, but Saturday will stick with him the entire year.
Isn't it such a weird conundrum or catch-22 where you hear a lot of the players and even Coach Frost yesterday talk about doing X for the fans, and the fans do this. And so we in turn need to do this. You know what I apologize if I'm speaking for you guys and gals, and it's not really the thing, but you know all the fans really want? I swear to goodness. You know what the fans really want? If you guys and gals down there just do the best that you can, everybody will be good. If you just do the best that you're capable of doing. And weird, when I say that and folks nod, you know what that just means? Am I being the best version of myself? Hey, what can I do differently to get the desired outcome I want? Sometimes that means saying, hey, coach, listen, we're not going hard enough. Turn us loose. Coach, we need more. I told you, I thought it was a Freudian slip, but he meant what he said when he said, I want to see, Coach Chinander, I want to see if these guys are who they think who I want to think they are. Because in Coach Chinander's defense, he trusted those guys that they were ready based on what looked right to them. Practice looked right to them. It felt right to them. That was their benchmark. What they learned on Saturday,
it wasn't.
That's not the benchmark. Got to go back to work.
Break. Come back. Art's on the line. We'll get to him in just a moment. Brandon Vogel a little bit later from Hail Varsity will stop by the show on Sharp Betting in the Morning at 1620 The Zone.
Hey friends, Kent Pavelka here, back with John Higgins and the Rooferees at the Weather Guard showroom. The difference between your company and the ones that haven't been around very long, and what's the real value there?
We started the business in '85. That has to be worth something that you've been in the community for this long. If people are just out there to shop the price and not the service and the quality of what we do and the integrity of who we are, those people may not be for us. And that's okay.
The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
1620 The Zone Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. We have no accidents to report at this time, but you can expect some minor delays near 150th along Highway 370. And then on 204th, be prepared for minor slowdowns from Harrison to Q Street. And then on Dodge, be prepared for some major slowdowns from 94th to 90th. As always, remember to stay safe and wear your seatbelts. I'm Chris Scott. This time-saving traffic was brought to you by Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More.
Hi, I'm Mark Evans, owner of Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More. Right now, we'll open your drain line for only $93 or it's free. Call for details or request service at justcallburton.com.
We are Lus Hills Harley Davidson, and we buy bikes. Fall is a great time to sell your bike. Use the money for the Christmas fund, maybe a vacation, whatever you want. Lus Hills Harley Davidson will buy your bike. Click LusHillsHD.com for all the details and catch on to the fun fall stuff coming up. Lus Hills Harley Davidson, I-29 and Highway 34, south of Council Bluffs. Your home in the hills. Rise up and ride on.
The Omaha Farmers Market is open every Saturday in the Old Market from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and every Sunday in Exarban Village from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. May 7th through October 16th, enjoy the bountiful season of locally grown and handmade goods. Get the city's best selection of fresh produce, herbs, meat, and more. To keep up with what's in season, visit omahafarmersmarket.org and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Presented by University of Nebraska Omaha, Methodist Health System, and KETV Channel 7.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel, évidemment.
Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. Sharp and Benning in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app. Here are Gary Sharp and Damon Benning.
And the pitch on the way. Swung on, hit high in the air, right field. Might have a chance. Get up and gone. A Nick Gordon grand slam. Twins lead 7-4.
Halftime already. That seems like it went fast. Sharp and Benning in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, brought to you by Har Cigars, Pipes, and Lounge. You want to enjoy a nice cigar, maybe a pipe, a cocktail. Maybe we just need to simmer down and relax. Nah, we don't do that. We step on the gas around here. Har Cigars, Pipes, and Lounge will help you be those fine folks, right? Fantastic location. Pretty cool building. Looks like a little bit of a log cabin right off the North 48th Street exit, located right next to Cubby's off Mormon Bridge Road. Chance, where are you going with this? Has it been a wild thing?
A little bit.
Here.
Wild on a Wednesday?
we got off to a squirrely start. You already knew how it was going to go down.
Yeah, I'm a bit immature sometimes.
You and me both.
Nebraska, North Dakota. You want to play Guess the Line? For Nebraska, because, you know, when you have an FBS, FCS, those lines are a little bit later to come out.
I'll go with 26.
21.5 on FanDuel. Remember, SP Plus has it 37.14. For the Fighting Hawks, formerly the Sioux, that will be skating into Lincoln to play on Saturday.
No, I see what you did there. This ain't hockey, bro.
You think Dean Blaze will be in attendance?
Nope. Blazer is probably fishing as we speak. Got the boat out.
Yeah, he hasn't. It's still warm enough up in Grand Forks in North Dakota, northern Minnesota. That he hasn't gone to his home in Arizona.
He's probably on the lake.
Man, I miss my neighbor.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, we bonded. I got to know the whole Blaze family.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was getting kind of weird when you started talking about the same workout towel and being in the same facility.
Him and his
on the
wife would always show up
talking.
when I was
like,
working
would you
out.
leave that
No.
man alone while he's trying
No.
to
He
keep his cholesterol down?
He came to work out the same time I did. Flash Gordon's son, Nick, grand slam last night, 6 RBIs. Twins have won 5 in a row.
Yeah, after you left him for dead. You
Well,
gotta
'cause
do
they got
that.
some injuries, they got a tough
You got to do that
schedule.
more often.
Well, I'm leaving the White Sox for dead. They're
Second
done.
day in a row, which Nate Clouch and you guys, you White Sox fans, have faith. If Sharpie's got a shovel in dirt, you got a chance.
Yeah, but in this case with the White Sox fans, they're like, yeah, I left him for dead. Speaking of Tony La Russa, hopefully his health is okay.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
that and Eli Gold, right?
Yeah, Eli Gold will not be doing the first game for Alabama.
Yeah, and I have to take a leave. Wishing the best for Eli Gold, who we've had on this show many a times.
Yes.
Alabama.
The third best quarterback in college football this year is, if you
How'd
go,
we skip to 3?
well, because Bryce Young and CJ Stroud are 1-2.
Okay.
Got to pick the third best quarterback in college football this year.
I don't know, but I'll give you the dark horse, though.
Is he my guy at CC?
No. I like him, though. Weird offense to kind of make that correlation. But I have my dark horse.
Is he in the ACC?
He is.
Oh, okay. And
he is in the ACC.
And he is?
Well, give me the city.
He is in Raleigh.
He is not, but great call.
Oh.
He's probably firmly entrenched in your top 5.
Oh, okay. Now, so
that guy in Raleigh is probably in your top 5.
Are we going to Coral Gables?
Yes, we are.
You like him a lot. You really like him.
I think you got to keep an eye on Miami. fantastic OC, a tough, non-fake guy, head coach who's in his comfort zone. Keep an eye on Van Dyke. He'll make him. We're making moves out here, like my man Michigan Lance used to say. Third best quarterback? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to keep an eye on, and I'm not saying he's the third best, but I'm going to keep an eye on Spencer Rattler. He seems to have found a home in Columbia.
Yeah, maybe. But you know what? That should be your dark horse for a team to make waves to begin with. I mean, I know
like Shane Beamer.
I know Arkansas is trendy, and people like them to make a move. South Carolina is going to ruin a couple of people's season. They are trending in the right direction, and they are like, you probably didn't listen to Mystical as a kid, did you?
Periodically.
My man said, I don't chew no swine, but eating Popeye's chicken and watermelon to the rind. Dangerous.
Remember,
very, very dangerous. And you used to have the little dancers. Been so long.
Remember,
Is that too much for you?
No, I grew up in Iowa, so swine is protected. So we don't eat it.
Hey,
We chew on it.
South Carolina is like Mystical. Very, very dangerous.
Isn't this, and we're going to get to Art and Out of Breath Brian and John in just a moment. This, like, just the
Wait,
little.
did you say Out of Breath, John?
No, Brian and then John.
Oh. Did I invent Out of Breath, or did you say Out of Breath?
Did he self-gloss himself?
I don't know, man. I feel like this is, we're going back to the call where we said a guy said he was 88, but he really didn't.
Yeah, that thing was that whole day yesterday. But
Were we high? It was early.
Was that just yesterday?
Yes.
Yes.
God, we're a mess.
No, we aren't. Talking about a 31-28 game in Dublin, Ireland has turned this into a mess. Isn't it interesting?
I'm still tripping off 21 and a half.
Isn't it interesting that first blush, none of us said Caleb Williams?
No, but
I mean,
they are going to be good.
Well, they basically went out and got a star-studded free agency class.
They are going to be good.
All right. Coming up, as I mentioned a little bit later, Brandon Vogel will stop by. We got some emails in the Equitable Bank inbox. Gary and Damon at 1620thezone.com. 951-1620. That gets you in on the Les Hills Harley Davidson hotline. And we start this hour with Art. Good morning, Art. Art?
Hey.
Hey, there he is. Good morning, Art.
Hey, good morning. Damn, what you were saying was right on point. How do you know who's a better lineman or a good football player? You don't have some kind of things that you said to them. You know, I went to a lot of football clinics and stuff and talked with coaches. And they said when their guys come in, they got to be able to run a mile in a certain amount of time. The backs got to run a time, and they got some parameters that they go by, and for that guy to be a starter.
Yeah.
You just come out and give a guy a job because he's ranked so high in whatever, you know, coming out of high school. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean.
But then again, I mean, they've been tackling the same way every year.
We'll see.
Tackling. You can't arm tackle nobody. What is shot the passer for?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if it's what's the word I want to use? We'll see if it's just talk or they really get after it. But I think I said it. My analogy is you got to be willing to break a few dishes,
right?
If you still want to eat right. So they got to be willing to break. They got to be willing to break a few dishes.
On the field, and you go down there and play a football game, you don't puke it all.
Yeah.
You know. So, but there was a witch 2 hours when they was picking up on the field.
Yeah, well.
Come on now. That's a, man, I don't know. It just pissed me off. I tell guys that, and we almost get to fighting over about how they do that stuff down there.
All right, I don't want you fighting anybody, especially all your buddies that are close to you.
Nobody, Dan, but these guys, Nebraska going to win 9 games this year. They're going to be much better. I said, man, you know, they not. Because you got to practice the way you play. And they're not practicing. If they practice that way, that's the way they're going to play.
Yeah, I just was surprised to hear, and I appreciate the call. I just was a little taken aback, and maybe it's a good thing, right? To hear the players basically say what they want. You know, that's
that is a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Because there were only 3 yesterday that were selected to speak. They all told you a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If you listen closely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I see our good friend Mr. Lee, who is a diehard.
Hey, isn't he something? My man has been laying
diehard
in
North
the,
Dakota fan,
laying in the
Minnesota
cut.
Twin fan. He photoshopped. God, look how young we look like in this picture.
Yeah,
he photoshopped us in Sioux sweaters.
You got a full head of hair. I still look the same.
Well, I've never really had a full head of hair, but then I went and got a haircut about a month ago.
Much like practicing and tempo, it's all relative.
Oh, I went to the wrong place to get my hair cut. She butchered my hair. And so I had to have a lot taken off.
Wow. I want to read this tweet by the mayor. Are you on this? No, I don't believe you are. Would you like to read Joel's tweet? Yep, I think you do.
I'm not on this tweet. No, I'm not allowed to read it if I'm not on it.
No, you can read it. It's
sure?
fine. It's fine. What'd the mayor say? This mayor's in town, actually.
This is from Joel. This is a tweet.
Okay.
Well, hard to ask kids to man up when they're led by a child. He's a bad coach because he's a bad person. He's not a bad person because he's a bad coach. It's just that easy.
Wow.
That is from Joel on Twitter.
I love how the mayor minced words. I don't really understand what you're saying, Joel. Can you be more specific?
I think he ran out of 280 characters there. Here is Out of Breath Brian, otherwise known as B on the show, among other things. Good morning, sir.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, fellas. I'm happy to hear on the radio after the man with the voice that sounds like he could be a singer with Dizzy Gillespie or Ray Charles. That man got some pipes on him. You know, shoot. You sure Arthur isn't like a blues singer or something?
Hey, did you really say, put that on your bingo card? My man said Dizzy Gillespie. What is wrong with you? Wow.
Hey, they have no filter, but whatever.
Rest in peace.
Wow.
See, David, what you went off on is exactly what's been bothering me about this man. How the hell did it look right? See, you've been cooking the same dinner for the last 4 or 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll turn out to be horrible. You don't never prep any of the materials before you cook. You just throw it all up on the dang counter and just start throwing stuff in there. You don't even use real seasoning salt. You use what young black men use when their parents teach them how to cook. Just Lawry's. Okay? you don't get them on the football field to practice tackling when that's part of the game. You've been having a problem with that every freaking year, man. What are you trying to save bodies for? Because think about it. You're not gonna get to use the bodies next year if you ain't here, so you might as well use them now.
Lowry's though, huh?
Yeah,
We're on Lowry's.
Lowry's and Dizzy Gillespie. Best call of the day.
Bro, I ain't bought Lowry's in 10 years. I figured out that is the most overrated seasoning ever.
Ironically, when you started to make some money off this show.
That frustrates me. How you need to change things because things have not been working for you.
Yeah,
okay?
see,
you can't be like a girlfriend I used to have that when she made rice, it was crunchy rice every time, and she couldn't figure out how to do. You kept doing the same thing and kept getting crunchy rice. Okay, cook it longer, add more water. That's what you need to do.
Or
right?
or a little tablespoon of vinegar.
Something different is the main thing.
Yeah.
You can't keep doing the same thing that you've done.
B, are you mad at me if I'm vouching for Coach Chinander when I tell you I trust that he'll figure that part out? Or is it
that? Okay,
have I logged on to the Homer Network because I like him? Because I actually think he'll figure it out.
But I'm thinking, is it his fault that they're not practicing tackling? Is that coming from him or is that coming from the head man to save bodies?
That's what I can't speak to. I'd have to ask the question.
I'm going to assume that that's coming from the head man because I don't see why the defensive coordinator wouldn't want his players tackling since that's going to help their performance.
Yep.
And I'm going to assume, from what it looks like, he seems to be a little bit more intelligent and has a better plan of efficiency than the head coach. So I'm going to assume if that was the call, that comes from the head coach. And if that's so, that's the dumbest thing in the world. And I'll be so ready for this to be over with because this is a total cluster. You know what?
Hang in there.
I'll make sure. Okay, you gotta take it easy.
Hang in there.
It was a
Dizzy
rack him.
Dizzy Gillespie and Lawry's seasoning salt. Dizzy and Lawry's. What are we doing? What are we doing? You know what I mean? Oh man.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Nebraska grad my man Doug, who has kind of been laying in the cut the last 8 years, closet good tweeter said, didn't Trev still one of the best college hockey coaches ever from North Dakota while at UNO? Relevant on so many levels this week. Wow. Oh man, the natives are restless.
Oh, the Blazer was gone from UND, but I get the point. I get the point.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Now will Adrian? Otherwise, good news for UNO hockey coming back for his 5th year, second leading scorer. That was good news yesterday. Back to next week is going to be Bizarro World. I'm telling you, Damon.
I'm just popping pills.
I know. I'm just
taking
trying to figure out
no
what to do,
dose.
so people can see you on camera.
I forget about that sometimes.
Yeah. Hey, next week is going to be Bizarro week around here.
Why?
Scott Frost against Clay Helton.
Stop it.
It's just Bizarro World in the business of major college football.
How are you on that already when we haven't even played North Dakota?
I saw Clay Helton doing a video, and the guy looks like he is gained about, 15 years back on his life.
Yeah.
He looks fresh. He's smiling.
He
went from USC to Georgia Southern, got fired early last year. Just a bizarro big boy business of college football. All right, 8:16. Some good tweets rolling in, some emails. We'll get to them. Always welcome with your
you just fast
phone
forward.
calls.
Just disrespecting Coach Entz going to Clay Helton. North Dakota's recruiting in the area, man. You think they need a good showing?
Oh,
don't be encouraged.
I'll never disrespect.
You just skipped over Coach Entz to go to.
No, I didn't. No, hey, Bubba. If you have a football coach in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and their head coach is named Bubba, you're not overlooking them. And they play in a dome, which I'd always like to go see. I mean, our team hotel up there is like right down the street from it. I'm always intrigued by I think it's the Aluris Center that they play indoors.
And I had North Dakota State on the brain. Isn't that sad?
Well, don't you usually need sled dogs whenever you're there?
Even I didn't respect the opponent.
Put a buck in the jar. Bubba Schweik.
My bad, Coach. I went North Dakota State on you. I'm so fired up. I can't. You know what it is? I figured it out. I'm a sucker for young people, right? So when I hear young people kind of cry out for what they want, it does something to my soul, because I think they're telling you exactly what they need. They really are, and it spills over into everything else that I like in real life, which is young people. And maybe that's something to do with losing my guy yesterday to another senseless shooting that I used to coach at Omaha North in Alon Reed, but the guy we affectionately call Phoenix. But when I hear young people kind of they're telling you exactly what they want. This is what we've got to do. This is what I want my guys to do. They need help in that. So you got to do it, man. You're playing, Ernest Hausman, Lake Keen in a key series, AJ Allen, guys like that. Like those young people are kind of the future of your program, because they're the few high schoolers that are playing young.
Yeah.
And we've kind of gotten away from the whole, the high school recruiting coming home to roost thing. And so I say all of that to say, man, they're telling you what they want. Let them lay it on the line and let the paramedics sort it out. You're going to get a few hurt bodies, but they'll figure it out. They will.
I mean, B said something at this point where you openly said, we got to get it done this year, you got to exhaust everything to find ways to win, ways to be successful, ways to maximize guys. I mean, there's certain areas of this team which are concerns before Saturday that are going to be concerns this Saturday and just the entire season. But, man, to find the right buttons to elevate guys, I think you have to look everywhere to do that. And you have to be willing to sacrifice some things you've never been willing to sacrifice before, whether it's to save your ass, to save your job, to save your legacy, your pride, whatever. At some point,
it can't be about that though. It's got to be at some point because you believe that that's the best thing to do.
Well, it's in that gray area of balancing. But your number one job is to find a way to maximize the guys that are inside of your program that work with you day in and day out to find a way to have victories on a football field. Are you doing that? Are you doing that?
You need any Lawry seasoning salt? You strike me as the type of guy that would be all you use. Is Lawry's like your end all be all, your catch all?
No, but I believe that Walt Sharp back in the day,
he was probably Lawry, salt and pepper. That's it, huh?
You like that?
Seasoning.
But I didn't think much back then. When you're a kid, you don't think about going the cheap stuff. Because I thought it would taste pretty good.
Lawry's.
Now I know it's not.
The black people's version of NyQuil.
I didn't know that at the time. I thought it was pretty good.
Actually, it's Robitussin.
Wow. All right. Learn something new every day on the show. Sharp Betting in the morning. 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Can it make the season? Again, no. There's still 11 games after that, and they have to take care of business. And it's a team that has not, a program that has not. They were 4-2 in 2019.
Right.
The only loss in conference they had was to Ohio State. They were from the East. But this one, no, they got to start out with a win. You, in a way, want to just get the victory so it shows you proof of concept that what you did in the offseason works.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, look, in the mood for some ice cream. So we're speaking of comedians, right? Ted and Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream. It's a specialty ice cream shop. 2 great locations, one downtown and one in the old market. Listen, it's the holiday right around the corner. And maybe you're thinking to yourself, it'd be a nice time to catch up with the fam. School started. I've been super busy. Let's go grab some ice cream. Ted and Wally's will be open for you on Labor Day. So take the crew, stop on out, and get you one of those 3,000 flavor combinations of Ultra Premium ice cream. It doesn't have to just have to be about the holiday either. Maybe you're taking a weekend and you're grabbing some senior pictures, or you're downtown taking a stroll, catching up with the fam. Whatever it is, maybe you just feel like something good and palate quenching. That's Ted and Wally's. Again, got a lot of options to get it right. 2 great locations, one downtown and one in Benson. You're looking for some quality ice cream and a little good time? Stop out at Ted and Wally's.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Comfortable start Wednesday with temperatures in the 50s and lower 60s. We'll see tons of sunshine throughout the day, though turning hot in the afternoon. Highs topping out in the low 90s. We should stay dry into the evening with a slight chance of a shower or storm west of the metro. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. We have multiple accidents to report, starting with one on Fort Crook Road at Avery Road, so please be cautious if you are in that area. And then we're also getting reports of an accident along 84th and Harrison. And then there's also an accident to report at 159th and Pacific, so please be cautious if you are in those areas. As always, remember to stay safe and wear your seatbelts. I'm Chris Scott. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Lanahaw Nurseries.
Trees supply oxygen, provide shelter, and reduce pollution. They're a symbol for life. Lanahaw Nurseries is the metro area's premier homegrown tree source. Leave a legacy that matters. Rooted in quality, unmatched value. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Sean Callahan breaks down the Northwestern game and previews the North Dakota game.
Thursday at Holy Ghost Church on 52nd and Q. Doors open at 5, program starts at 7, and it's only $10 for adults and $5 for children. Sponsored by Beer City and Mama's Pizza.
Creighton Sports Update. Creighton Volleyball returns home this weekend for the Blue Jay Invitational presented by Hilton Omaha. The Blue Jays face off against the USC Trojans on Friday night at 7:30, followed by Kentucky at 10:30 on Saturday morning. Limited tickets are available online at gocreighton.com/tickets.
$16.20 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Marvin Windows has long been known for their lasting value and beauty. Carp's Complete Home Exteriors is Omaha's first authorized Marvin Windows replacement contractor. For a free estimate, call Carp's Complete Home Exteriors or visit carpsomaha.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text YOUTH to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text YOUTH to 321-321. That's YOUTH to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
College football is in full swing this week, and FanDuel wants you to be ready for game day when college football kicks off all the way. Right now, new customers can get $150 in free bets guaranteed for week one. Just place a $5 bet, and you can get $150 in free bets, win or lose. You can bet college football any way you'd like. Take a look at all the big games this weekend. We have Oregon and Georgia. We have Notre Dame, Ohio State. Jump in on one of those same game parlays as well. The options are endless, and if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, now is the perfect time. Right at the start of football season, the app, easy to use, and when you win, you get paid fast. So see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel app today and sign up with promo code HAPPER, HAPPER, and place a $5 bet to get $150 in free bets guaranteed to kick off the college football season with promo code HAPPER. 21 plus, present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued with non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Sharp and Betting in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app.
Hey, I think we would have both taken an L in our dead or alive game if Mikhail Gorbachev had been the individual, because I would have said dead.
Mikhail Gorbachev. Oh, what's the name that looked like he had the country on his head?
Yeah,
Mr.
the last leader
Gorbachev.
of the Soviet Union. Yes.
Yes. I remember him.
So
that was one of the greatest speeches ever uttered, Chance.
It was.
And that pretty much
ended the Cold War
and unified the country.
Definitely
well ahead of Reaganomics.
Definitely the most relatable premier of the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
So he passed away yesterday at the age of 91.
Are you a historian, Chance?
I watch a lot of animated historical videos on YouTube.
Wait a minute, animated?
Yeah, people like
what the heck?
They make fun little cartoons to teach people about history. I like those.
Did you watch the cartoon about how a bill is made? Because
my friends call me Bill.
No,
I'm just a bill.
I'm just a
Yes,
bill.
I'm only
That's how I
a
learned how a
bill.
bill was made.
Sitting on Capitol
So Gorbachev
Hill.
passed away yesterday. He was 91. I thought he was already dead.
I kind of want to hear that speech. I would have guessed he was no longer with us.
Yeah. Were they hiding him?
Is Boris Yeltsin still alive?
Wow.
Look at you.
I know.
Yes, all right. Chance is back. Woo!
Guess who's back?
All right. Guess who is back? This is Steve. Steve, thanks for the call. Welcome to Sharp Betting in the Morning.
How are you guys doing this morning?
Good, Steve.
but
Thanks for the call.
I think now is a good time for me to tell Chance that Boris Yeltsin is no longer with us.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
That
So
was
I got a
15 years
question
ago.
for you. And Damon obviously would understand more. So I think about the week and playing football in high school, and I think Mondays was film session. You might be half rack. We called it shoulder pads, helmet. Tuesday and Wednesday, full pads. Thursday, a lot of times just helmet, and then Friday was the game. And I was talking with my youngest. Now I've got a 25-year-old as well, but he did it similar to that. And we were talking before his first game, and he mentioned on a Thursday, like, well, somebody rolled up on my knee, and I'm like, weren't you guys in helmets? He says, oh, no, we don't do that anymore. He said, we actually do helmets on Wednesdays, and he said, we're actually full padded Thursdays, and we're hitting, not obviously taking necessarily to the ground, but we're doing more hitting to condition our muscles. And it got me to thinking, his explanation was, well, we're doing it different to kind of get us ready for the game. And so that got me to thinking, I wonder, within high school with you coaching Damon, that is that something that's more the trend now?
Yeah. So what we do is that's almost our exact.
Steve, thanks for the call.
That's almost our exact schedule. Saturday's the work day. Sunday's an off day. Monday, we come out early. We do install from the Saturday work day, but they're in half racks or full pads. So if Monday is a work day for us, Tuesday is a work day for us. Wednesday, we are helmets only. Thursday, we're back in pads. Friday, we play football. That's our exact schedule. I used to think it was crazy. And I mean, credit to Coach Frank and Coach Marvek and those guys for kind of figuring out what works best for game situations. But
did you say you full pads on Thursday?
It just depends. We're in either half or full.
Okay.
And so we have different colors that gauge the speed of practice, right? You can go red, yellow, green, and they'll tell us what the color is, and then we know how to practice. And the kids have responded. I think Westside is up their level of physicality in the last couple of years, kind of gone more as the pretty skilled team to somehow we held Marty Brown to 25 for 76, right? Like,
make your hay in the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. And it's worked. So I think it's changed more. And you know what it took? It took buy-in from the kids. Because Tuesday you don't feel very good. Tuesday after practice, it's like, Wednesday is it's a super intense day, even though we're in helmets only. It's what we call Wizard Wednesday because we stress them in other areas emotionally. And then Thursday we get back after it. So it's worked for us. And that sounds exactly like what we want to do. I don't like Thursdays I don't like doing nothing really the day before a game. Because that's not even the most important day. The most important day is 2 days out from whenever it is you play in terms of rest and recovery, not the day before. Because adrenaline can fool you. And a lot of times people don't sleep well the night before the game anyway. So we do a lot of the loading on 2 days out.
I appreciate the call from Steve, but do you think he's new listening to the show?
Why?
Well, because he doesn't remember that I am one of the best backup swing tackles in
when he
Urbandale
said
High
that.
School history.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what? You talk to a lot of coaches.
Yeah, I do. And just because I was a backup doesn't mean I don't know anything about football.
No,
I played for Denny Furricks. Rest in peace.
Similar to Boris Shelton?
Same size, same frame.
Roughly around 2007.
When did Coach Furricks pass away? It was late 90s.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Significant.
You think they're hanging out in heaven?
Field is named after him. No, I don't think that Dennis Furricks, much better football coach than teacher, by the way, is with Boris Yeltsin upstairs.
What about Mikhail?
One just got there.
Gorbachev?
Yeah.
One just got there. What are we doing?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if he's talking to Stalin, but maybe he's talking to your coach.
I once wanted to go to Moscow I watched the Goodwill games when I was young, and I thought, wow, Moscow looks pretty cool. Probably won't be going there anytime soon.
Yeah. Like, you going to hang out?
No. I got a lot of stuff going on.
What is wrong with you?
Here
man?
is Eric. Hello, Eric. Welcome to Sharp Betting in the Morning.
Hey, good morning. Got a quick question for you about.
Hi, Eric. Good morning.
Hello. So, when it comes to the athletic director, he made a comment when they extended Frost that everybody has to have skin in the game. So, we've got two questions about the athletic director. One, what is his actual skin in the game? Because they don't really probably have a shared future. Because I don't think he means skin in the game as in, if this fails, then they're both gone. So what actually is his, what's his responsibility in that? The other question is,
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, the other question is if in this situation, if things go off the rails, which, obviously we all hope it doesn't, but if things go off the rails when it comes to recruiting, is it better that he cuts bait early, lets it play out all the way, or does it even matter?
First,
Eric, good question.
The first question with skin in the game, it was immediate, really, because Trev was the fix-it guy. He's supposed to get football back on track, so he automatically has skin in the game. And you take a look at how he's revamped the athletic department, the infrastructure, the fiscal flow, the coaching and teaching of the staff that he has in that athletic department and the coaches automatically puts him with skin in the game. And he is uniquely connected to Coach Frost's tenure because whatever the decisions are, he's at the helm. Nothing says skin in the game like that.
And you only get most athletic directors only get one opportunity.
And as far as recruiting, and you can more than touch on this, it's going to be real touchy because some of it depends on how Nebraska looks while it's going off the rails. Do you still have a staff that's committed to recruiting? Because it takes a certain, and there's lots of coaches that have been in this deal, right, where the writing may be on the wall. Do you check out, or is it about the university? I'd say 80 to 85% of the guys check out.
Yeah, because they're looking for their next gig while they're quote unquote recruiting.
And that would be human nature. So that just depends on who you bring in potentially to take over. Because I don't think it's advantageous necessarily, because if you let a guy go early, the one thing that you're going to limit in recruiting is guys that are willing to get on the road. So you have to be working behind the scenes. Okay, you have a chance to be retained, and you have to kind of give incentives. Okay, if we do this, this, and this, we're going to take a look at you. Like, I mean, just think about how you look at your regular job, right? Like, if on my way out the door, if I'm like, hey, man, like they're going to do this, this, and this. If I take care of this, this, and this, I'd probably look at that differently than as opposed to just checking out. Right. I just think that's how normal people work. But there's no question that he's got skin in the game. I mean, this one is on him. It's totally on him.
And he knew what he was getting into when he took the job.
Well, some degree. To some degree, he did.
He found out. I will say that Trev found out in the first month.
Yeah, there were lots of things I would prefer. He would prefer he knew going in a little more.
But I don't think that would have prevented him from taking the job.
I'd probably be inclined to agree. I would probably be inclined to agree.
Because now he takes it as a challenge to get the current program fixed on the right track to where he wants to be or where he envisions that Nebraska football should be. And let's be honest. As the athletic director, you're not just overseeing football. You're fundraising. He needs Nebraska football to be good. And you got a facility that's about to open.
And
you got a stadium.
You're unifying his department too.
Yes. You need football not to be a problem. is essentially what you need to happen as an athletic director,
for sure.
so that football doesn't just consume every single moment of your day with how it's being played, how it's being coached, what people are saying, what people want a piece of you. You got to get football to where football runs. I oversee it, and I'm not going to let it just sleep. I'm not going to pull the burn and just let it go because I trust it. But you can't have it consume all of your day, which I think a lot of that does with Trev right now. All right, 8:39. Next hour, Brandon Vogel will stop by. We've talked a lot about the defense. Let's talk about the offense because the run game was discussed yesterday. An offense that last 6 possessions only had 84 yards. Casey Thompson addressed some of the offensive things. We haven't played the Oliver Martin, what happened on that play, right? Okay, we'll get to that sound. We'll get to that sound as we roll along till 10. Sharp Betting in the Morning with Chance on 1620 The Zone.
After Nebraska plays on Saturday, you'll wake up on Sunday morning with a severe reaction. Michael Severe returns to 1620 The Zone, and he won't hold back about what went right and what went wrong during the game. He'll also take calls from the most important voice of all, yours, Severe Reaction. Sundays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., powered by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, only on 1620 The Zone.
All right, the NFL season is right around the corner. Actually, the NFL season begins 1 week from tomorrow, and then 2 weeks from tomorrow is the biggest game of the entire season, or at least that Thursday of week number 2. It's when the Los Angeles Chargers travel to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. That is the home opener for the Chiefs, and Tickets for Less, they want you to be there. They want you to be in Arrowhead all season long, and they've got a great deal just until 5 today. Thank you to everybody that's taking advantage of this. 20% off all home game tickets at Arrowhead Stadium, courtesy of ticketsforless.com. Now, they make it really, really easy on you. This is all you have to do. Follow my lead. You're going to be a winner, like chicken dinner. Go to ticketsforless.com. Formerly Ticket Express, same top-notch customer service, same great seats, same great prices, and no outrageous ticket fees when you check out. Nope, you can do your comparison, but you'll keep coming back to ticketsforless.com. And especially now, 20% off all Chief home game tickets at Arrowhead. Go to ticketsforless.com. Check out which seats are available, Chargers, Bills, all the AFC West opponents, and then give them a call, 402-398-1999. 402-398-1999. That's ticketsforless.com. Get yourself into Arrowhead and tell them Gary sent you.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill has been making your game day experience one to remember for 18 years with our award-winning char-buffed wings and $7.99 Monday through Friday lunch specials. But now your game day just got bigger and better with Oscar's newly upgraded audio-video system. Cheer on your favorite teams this season in front of a 22-foot LED video wall, showing up to 8 games at once, and of course, 40 TVs and massive dual projectors. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, 173rd and West Center Road, and for takeout at 162nd and Maple.
Cox Panoramic Wi-Fi includes advanced security to help protect all your connected devices. You'll get real-time alerts. Oh, like this one, so you don't have to worry about malware. Or when your kid downloads a song from a shady link. And now all your computer can play is red color, where are you? All blocked, thanks to advanced security, included with Cox Panoramic Wi-Fi. Advanced security must be enabled in the Panoramic Wi-Fi app. Restrictions apply.
It's time to find a career that's right for you. Metropolitan Community College can help you find a new path forward on your time. Whether you need a degree that puts you on a path to a new career or need to finish a degree you've already started, MCC makes it affordable and convenient with a flexible class schedule, online or on campus. It's your time to path forward. Let MCC show you the way. Register today. Classes start September 6th. Apply today at mccneb.edu/adults.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Experience every pitch, run, and legendary play. Your home for Royals baseball in Omaha. 1620 The Zone.
Sharp and Betting in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app.
Why are we doing this?
Because I did not let a joke die.
Hey, what do you think Chance's care mood is? High or low?
Well, it is the last day of August.
Would you believe me if I said this is not the first time I've played the Soviet national anthem on the station?
It appears to be pretty low, and I almost want to kick you dead square in the teeth for this, but since violence is not the answer, I'm going to go ahead and refrain from saying that out loud. What is this? Was this Rocky IV?
Just pouring out,
And here comes the champion.
pouring out one for Gorbachev.
Bro, what is wrong with you? This is
I don't know.
This is America.
So we can be civil.
First.
Do you realize what's going on right now in this world?
Well, listen. That's more
Oh,
of
listen,
a
no.
Hey,
that's more of a Boris's problem.
He's just Chance in one fell swoop in like 10 business days. He's trying to have us be at odds even further with the former country known as the Soviet Union and Margaret Thatcher, who was allegedly supposed to be an ally.
Who actually tweeted back at Chance last week when he went after her.
Yeah.
The Iron Lady was not happy with me.
What'd she say? How dare you talk about my rendezvous?
Here, let me go find.
No.
It was something along the lines of, "Yes, I am Margaret Thatcher," and then I said, get back in hell with Reagan where you belong." And then she said, "I'm alive." And then I said, "Yeah." I can't remember what I retorted. I was like, but yeah. So me and Margaret went at it on Twitter the other day.
Chance, how smooth is that elevator running? Is it hitting? Is it hitting all floors?
Well, the building's only like 3 stories, so
I
it's
mean,
fine.
goodness gracious.
On the Twitch channel,
Sam O'Nella. I'm still tripping off you watching Sam O'Nella. Sam O'Nella, Blue Jay, and what else?
Oversimplified.
Oversimplified.
Mm-hmm.
And those are cartoons?
Yeah, they're like nice little animated educational YouTube videos.
Channel 3 Sean says a nice choice of music. Same that was used in The Hunt for Red October.
The remake or the OG?
The OG.
One ping only.
Hold on. Now that we're off to this, what other impersonations do you do?
I don't know. Connery's fun because Connery never changes his accent no matter what
give me
he's
some
doing.
more.
And Gary.
Stick to sports.
Stick to sports. Let me see. Wait, Sean Connery's not sports related.
That's okay. This is a sports show,
let me
which you
think.
turned into much more than a sports show.
Well, yeah. Sports impressions. I don't really do a good.
What would Sean Connery say with Chance's personality about Nebraska football right now?
Scott, you need to stop what you're doing.
Hey, wow. Apparently Russia is a thing. My man Chris.
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
Apparently, my man Chris.
My friends in Ukraine, they know it's a thing.
Scott, I talked to Tom.
Andy Kravmatic, my dude, said, with this morning in mind, last week, a guy around 55 or so was strutting around dancing along my street with a bright red mullet. My man had a T-shirt on that said, "Made in the CCP."
People forget we beat them in '80 in hockey.
Stick to sports.
Are you done?
I mean, do you want me to keep going?
Well, I thought we shorted you there.
Wow.
That's not how this works.
Get it
Yeah,
together,
um,
man. Get it together. My face hurts.
You you embarrassed yourself in Ireland. Kid, so sorry.
All right, D-Pick on the Twitch.
Yeah.
Hey, D-Pick got loose yesterday. My man. Is,
D-Pick was picking fight.
Yeah,
picking fights.
He was having none of it.
He says about Dean Blaze. Blaze was out of college coaching for 5 years. An equivalent would be Trev hiring Bob Stoops. I'm all for that.
Stoops.
Hey, is Stoops openly on the market?
He is coaching in the XFL.
Is he still?
That's the reason they gave. Well, he's not on the big nude kickoff because he's coaching. He's got to prepare. So Bob Stoops out, Urban Meyer in. People also forget that Dean Blaze had a nice young assistant coach named Mike Hastings on his staff when he was here. People forget that.
Hastings.
Mike Hastings will be back here. Omaha and Mankato play an exhibition game. Awkward. All right, 8:50. Let's play some Casey Thompson sound because I'm sure this discussion will carry over to the next hour. So I asked just kind of in passing earlier in the show about we've never had a quarterback like Casey Thompson around here. He's older. He doesn't waste a lot of words. He's always very calculated in what he says. I think he's a deep thinker. He's been around for a while. So I listen closely when he talks because his approach to questions. And he said at the end yesterday, hey, don't ask me anymore about Texas. I don't think people at Texas took that as a slight. Just like if Adrian Martinez says to the K-State media today or yesterday, hey, I really want Nebraska to do well. We don't see that as a slight. I think people want Adrian to do well. Again, Texas people will be rooting for Casey Thompson on September 17th to beat Oklahoma. So when Casey talks, it's kind of, I listen a little bit closer just because of how he approaches questions. He thinks questions through before he starts to answer them. He gives you a sense of like calm and just the way he carries himself. So he was asked about one of the interceptions that was thrown, and he will quickly tell you about the offense. First 3 quarters, 55 plays were ran, over 400 plus yards, 4 touchdown drives. He said that he rattled that off yesterday. But one of the 2 interceptions that he threw was a play in a key moment that he was looking for Oliver Martin. What do you think he was saying here as he walked people through what happened on that play? Because he also said, Damon, I go and talk to my wide receivers about why there was an incompletion interception, and we talk through it. I don't know if on the sidelines.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I told you I like the fact that he has been in front of the mic a ton because I think he lends credence to the fact we said, I'm not sure if it's OCD or he's just a perfectionist, but his recall and his ability to want to rep and get things right is uncanny.
All right, so here is the response to this question.
They went one high man on that play. It was 3rd and 9, I believe. We had just crossed the 50, so we're moving the ball well. And he ran a good route. Like I said, it was one high man. I threw it right over the Mike linebacker. He tried to jump up and tip it. Ball went right over the linebacker's head. I threw it with timing and anticipation. Oliver was trying to get his head around. He was getting tugged a little bit. The DB made a good play. He did a technique called slingshot. He slingshotted himself into the play. So he kind of ran with Oliver, pulled himself into the play, and then tracked the ball. So the DB did a really good job of just tracking the ball a little bit better on that play. Like I said, Oliver was getting ready to try to hold the defender off on his back. Just didn't get his head around his hands up quick enough. I think it was a great ball. I threw it with confidence. Like I said, it was 3rd and 9. Trey Palmer we ran switch verticals, and Trey shut it down on the outside. I didn't know for sure if Trey was going to get enough depth to get the first down, so that's why I went with Oliver on the seam. But no, I thought it was a good ball. Like I said, it's just unfortunate play, and the DB made a play on it. It's going to happen sometimes.
Hey, how's that for recall?
Yeah.
Is that decent or no?
Well, I'm already. He's talking through Oliver Martin, but then he dropped in where Trey Palmer was on the same play.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, which lets me know that they've talked about, or he understands, one of the two or both, progression and command. Goes through his progressions, has good command of the offense, and then can articulate what happened. I guess I never saw a good angle. I saw a lot of stills and people pile on, but I didn't have a good recall of whether I should be bothered by what Oliver Martin did or not. It became an easy, low-hanging fruit kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Casey, for all intents and purposes, it sounds like he lets you know exactly what was going on and wasn't really assessing fault, like he didn't complete the route. I think he let him know where he was going and where the ball was going. And I think he would try to make that throw
again
90% of the 9 times out of 10.
All right, last hour upcoming. Sharp betting in the morning. Brandon Vogel will stop by. There's the other part of Casey Thompson moving forward and the running game moving forward. We'll get into that and the running backs, the oars.
Hey.
Anthony Grant or A.J. Allen or I think that's a little smokage.
Yeah.
Smokage.
Hey, if you play two positions, can you get caught in between?
Oh. It depends on if you're wide. Last hour upcoming.
This is Scott Schultz from Host Coffee. 2022 marks our 50th year and business has never been better. We are rapidly growing and adding new customers, which means we need new route drivers and service technicians. We have new jobs for those new to the industry with little or no experience and new careers that require knowledge in the coffee and vending world. There's a good chance we have just what you need in a new job. Host Coffee offers competitive pay and understands the work-life balance. Apply today at hostcoffee.net/careers and join our team.
42 degrees. A lot of great locations. Just drove past another one along 50th and Center on Sunday. I'm like, man, you guys are everywhere. A lot of great locations, typically right by your mom's house. That's pretty all-encompassing, isn't it? Always clean, always friendly, and perhaps the most important for me, pretty knowledgeable. The training with the products that the staff receives is incredible, which is why they're the source for you. All 42 degrees products come with different levels to help you find your comfort zone between vegan and gluten-free. There's a reason that I like to call them the go-to options. Sizes are so easy. I can toss them into my gym bag, or maybe for you fine folks, it's your briefcase or the glove compartment. Whatever, it works. So do yourselves a favor. Stop on in and talk to the staff at 42 degrees to get yourself a free sample. That's all you really need to do. Try it for free. Also, take a little gander, if you will, at the products for pets. It works wonders. All that and more right by your mom's house. It's 42 degrees.
1620, The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC, Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. We're still getting reports of the accident along 84th and Harrison, so please be cautious if you are in that area. And then on 159th and Pacific, we are still getting reports of the accident over there, so please be cautious if you are in that area as well. On Dodge, you can expect some major slowdown from Front Ridge Road all the way to 90th. And then on L, be prepared for some major delays from 108th to 96th. As always, remember to stay safe and wear your seatbelts. I'm Chris Scott. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Everyone knows Saul's pays top dollar for your gold, but Saul's pays cash on the spot for your precious metals too. Silver, gold, platinum, coins, bars. Who wants to wait to get paid? Get to Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Saul's Jewelry and Loan. You'll find it all at Saul's Jewelry.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for telling my family and me about Toyota's national sales event. We got a new RAV4 during the event, and it's been great.
Well, that makes me happy. Right now through September 6th, it is the best time to drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more. So what are you up to?
You know, we took the RAV4 to a great spot, and now we're exploring a cave.
Amazing.
Yeah, my wife talked me into spelunking. I'm actually a complete and absolute amateur. Huh, I could have done without the echo on that.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 6th.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, or Baxter Toyota of La Vista.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
The true college football season begins this weekend. John and Josh here for the FanDuel Sportsbook. And right now, new customers can get $150 in free bets guaranteed for week one. And all you need to do is place a $5 bet and you can get $150 in free bets even if you lose. But we want you to win. And man, you can win big with the FanDuel Sportsbook, Josh, using same-game parlays.
Love same-game parlays, John. I also love betting on teams that I guarantee will win. I like Ohio State this weekend versus the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, 16.5 ahead of the week one matchup between those two teams. Download that FanDuel Sportsbook app today. Put in our promo code 1620 and turn $5 into $150 in free bets guaranteed. Promo code 1620. 21 plus, the president in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit is required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. Sharp and Benning in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app. Here are Gary Sharp and Damon Benning.
Here's the pitch. And that one's hammered to left field, hooking toward the line. If it's fair, it's gone, and it's fair. A blast by Altuve, his 22nd of the season. And the Astros lead 2-0 just like that.
And they got some good news on Verlander, who they put on the IL, going to be okay. Valdez last night won his 6th in a row for the Astros. Welcome in. Last hour, Sharp and Betting in the morning. 1620 The Zone, the app, over the air, in studio, on TV, wherever you might get us. You can get Serena Williams tonight. She's playing at the U.S. Open. A lot of fanfare. TV rating numbers will be high again. There's a lot of upsets on the women's side, so maybe she's able to pull one off tonight.
See?
I just wanted one. I got one. If I get two,
I had to
I
chastise
might
you
have to have a
about
cigarette.
now that I'd pay to see. I had to. Sharpie, just
I
turning and burning.
I love
grits.
Serena. I'm openly going to admit it. I love Serena.
Yeah. So I had to get on you about Fitzgerald last week. Then I had to get on you yesterday about discounting Serena. I said, listen, the ratings in women's tennis, the numbers are inconsequential. It's about how much you've been out there and how frequently you're playing. Right? You're like, oh man.
Her TV numbers Monday night are better than what they'll get for a final.
And it's Serena, so she's got at least one upset in her.
Do you believe, speaking of Pat Fitzgerald, I'm glad you brought him into the conversation. He was on a national show, Dan Patrick Show, which I like. I think you should podcast it after we're off the air. He said he was asked about Nebraska. And he said he's glad he got them week one. They're going to be very good once things start to gel. Well, we'll leave that comment on the side to see how the season marinates down here. If people believe that Pat Fitzgerald is saying that and it's true, he's being kind to an opponent, or he just loves Nebraska. Pat Fitzgerald loves everything about Nebraska football. He loves bringing his team to Lincoln. He loves the passion of the fans. He loves Nebraska football.
He doesn't.
Loves Lincoln. He gives speeches about how cool it is for his program to play at Memorial Stadium when he comes here to play.
That one just happened to be in Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, it was their home game. I mean, basically the same amount of people that would go to Ryan Field went to Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
Like the little portion of purple people and the large portion of red people. But he said he thinks Nebraska is going to be very good by the end of the year. Maybe coach speak. So everybody, before we get to Jay here, because this is now in my head, popped a question. Every coach, regardless of sport, has like a really good coach friend, right? Like you have a good, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. You and Coach Huffman, because y'all kind of grew up together. That's a coach friend, like a good coach friend. Most head coaches will have somebody that's worked on their staff, or they worked on a staff with this person. They're their good coach friend. Who do you think Scott's best coach friend is?
I don't know. I don't know. I really have no idea.
You don't really ever hear anybody talk like Chip Kelly and Scott Frost don't get brought up together. Neither one gets asked about each other. But I wonder, I wonder like who is his good coach friend?
I think that's a little overrated.
Really?
The Kelly thing?
Everybody. No, not Chip Kelly.
Yeah, I think that
you're not saying the having a coach friend is overrated.
Yeah.
The Chip Kelly thing, that weird relationship. But
I thought that was super. I thought that doesn't seem like it, or maybe it's just that he doesn't talk about that stuff much.
Just wondered who is his coach friend.
I don't know. Good question.
Everybody's got one. Who's your radio friend?
Jeez. Matt Verzo.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Connor Happer. John Bishop.
You know who my radio friend is?
Is it me?
Jason Peter.
Oh. Wow.
Here is Jay. Hey, Jay, thanks for holding through the top of the hour. Welcome to Sharp Betting in the Morning.
Hey, Damon, I think you were supposed to answer that question differently.
Hey, how about how quick he just went there though? Like that's pretty good on the draw.
He did. He was like, it was different. And was he staring at you?
Yeah, he was. He wasn't looking real lovingly into my eyes. You know what I mean?
All right,
Well,
Jay. Jay, what happened?
Oh man. Let me say this. I'm done. I'm not gonna go all the way back because I don't want to revisit or bring up emotions that are already past, right? But I will say this. I was one of the fans that was like fire Scott Frost, like immediately. I felt as if he showed on Saturday, and I said this on Saturday to my wife several times, that he showed on Saturday that he was on the sideline, trying to find a way to put his fingerprint on the game and made a poor choice by saying, I'm going to do the onside. I don't think he, anticipated the level of maturity it was going to take for him not to meddle in something that was fine. I think it irritated him that things were going okay in the first half. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like because things weren't going his way. I don't even know. I guess the better question that I would like to ask you, Gary, or you or Gary, Damon or Gary, like, what percentage do you think that Frost had in hiring Joseph and Whipple? Do you think it was like 50-50 him and Trev, or do you think it was 70-30 Trev, you know what I'm saying, Frost, or do you think it was all Frost?
God, that's a good fudge. I don't know. I've never really thought about that. I do know that the only pre-existing relationship that I know between Coach Whipple and the connection to the program was Coach Brown. I don't think he was on Coach Frost's radar at the time. And I think that's documented somewhere.
Yep.
And I believe it to be true, right? Like, I don't think he knew Coach Whipple. Now, with Mickey, I think he's obviously the best. He was obviously
Yeah.
the best available. You take that guy regardless.
And Trev has a pre-existing relationship with Mickey
Correct.
and knows what he can bring to the
they,
program.
They played together.
Okay, so the reason why I asked that question is because that goes into, my point. If Whipple and Mickey are hires that are 50-50 Trev Frost, if they're 70-30, if that percentage of whose influence was the final say, I think that's a very, very, very great question to ask to see what's really going on in the offensive coaches room. Because if these are Trev's hires, then I know for a fact everybody second guessed that call when he did it. Every coach on the sideline looked at this guy like, what are you doing? Like, why would you do that? And a matter of fact, the reason why I say it has such an impact on the players, one, Damon, 18 and 19-year-old guys, right, working together. Like, football is the greatest game because everybody has to do their job. You can have a superstar running back, but if your left guard is terrible, it's going to impact the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a game. The reason why the game is so philosophical is because it has the opportunity for people to work together in such a beneficial way. You can literally see, like, if I do my job and my partner does my job, we're going to have success. And to have boys that have been playing that game for 10 plus years, these are grown men, right? And all their experience of this game, they have never got the momentum and their coach called an onside. You feel me?
Yeah.
They had to be shocked too. So you had to shock coaching staff and shock players, and you could see it happen on the field. We can act like that, you know what I'm saying? People aren't influenced by other people. We can pretend like, no, they should be able to be above that. But get out of here. Get out of here. If there's a such thing called momentum, then that has to mean that the temperament of the team has an impact on how they play. And for their coach to literally snatch the rug from beneath them after they balled their tail off coming out of the third quarter, it was ridiculous, bro. I could see in their body language that it had an impact. And I was like, what coach doubled down on him? Like, what coach said, yeah, coach, let's do it? Like, what coach didn't know that Pat Fitzgerald was baiting him by having that guy in the zone backed up? Like, come on. Like, that's almost like it's disrespectful to the coaching staff of Northwestern to think that's a wrinkle you can see or you can exploit. Get out of here. Like, you could see that this was a selfish, unfortunately, I have to use these words, a childish and immature move. This was a guy trying to show that he was the boss. You feel me? This is a guy, like, you know what I'm saying? The most insecure leader always tells you that he's in charge. And this was a leader saying, I'm in charge. Watch. He made a decision, and everybody on that sideline second-guessed him. And I think the play and the boys showed that. And for me, for him to even make that decision makes me believe that he's not ready to be our head coach. And I hate to say that because I don't want to start over. But the reason why I asked that question before is because if these hires on the offensive side were Trev's hires, then Trev is already ready for Buddy to go. He already got Whipple and Mickey Joseph in line. He already talked to Shenander. Shenander's not going to leave, right? So if he's already got this in order, and Frost feels like everybody is not against him, but everybody is anticipating him messing up to leave, then I think, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. Now, that's my fanhood talking. But I was hurt Saturday. I'm over it now. I truly believe that the boys are going to turn it around. I think that there's enough grit down there that they don't want to be embarrassed. And I do believe that the accountability that Trev Alberts brings and the accountability that Whipple and Mickey Joseph bring, if that relationship is based upon Trev and not Frost, is enough to give us hope that the season will turn around. That's a long rant. Thank you, guys.
Jay, thanks. I have a question.
Go ahead.
So we already know that this is going to be an ongoing hard time for Scott not to be calling plays. And this might be a weekly thing. But there's another element that we've kind of touched on that came up yesterday. And Scott alluded to he'd like to see more of Rahmir and Irvin. So Rahmir had 0 offensive snaps.
Mm-hmm.
He was on special teams, but 0 offensive snaps. If you are trying to...
That's a good call.
If you're trying to stay away from the play calling, what is your role in suggesting personnel that play? Because what if Saturday rolls around and Ramir is playing an extensive amount? Does that mean game plan? Does that mean message heard? Like, there's also the role of, hey, I'd like to see 14 and 22 get in. How do we get them in? If I'm not the one calling plays, but I am the head coach. So how do I suggest that I really think we got to get 14 into the game? No, there's another part of, okay, how does that communication work? Or Whipple going, okay, you know what? The game plan and the opponent this weekend is a lot more suited to get Ramir Johnson is. We got you, coach.
Yeah, that, I wish I knew more, right? But just to think about it out loud, because I asked you, I said, I think this was off air. I was like, is that a good enough player? Has he had enough involvement in camp where he wouldn't get away from you? But I thought Coach Frost's answer was pretty, I think telling is the right word. He said, I think he got caught between running back and wide receiver, right? Because I know it sounds funny to say, but I could see how it happens. But my counter argument to that is, if I'm arguing with myself, I'd say, has he had enough impact in camp where you say, that he's not on the field, where it makes you uncomfortable that he's not playing? See, so that would be the counter argument. Because if Coach Frost is saying that, because I think he's telling the truth, right? I think he got caught in between both worlds, because not everybody, some people have coached and you have a guy that plays a tweener role and it never settles in into how you use him. And so you kind of forget about him. I was arguing with a former player yesterday. I talked to him for about 45 minutes last night on my way to my little guy's practice, and we're going back and forth, right? And he brings up Ramir, and I said, listen, we've all been there where a coach has a design for you. And he played at Nebraska, so he knows this. And then the game unfolds and it gets away from you. So I clearly understand that. What I didn't know is if it dawned on Coach Frost real time, because I'm thinking that's one of the advantages to not being buried in a playbook. You can say from afar, hey, where's Ramir? Let's see if we can get him involved, because he could still do that. But I think the game unfolded as it would, and his argument to that was, which was legit. He's like, DB, man, like, you can see him covering kicks. He was really good on special teams. How do you not think about that? And to that, I didn't have an answer, because I don't know, right? Like, maybe how they wanted to use him didn't lend itself, because at no point, let's just say you're with the coaches on this. Did you feel like the passing game was struggling?
Concept-wise, stuff, no.
So you wouldn't think to yourself, okay, what different personnel can I use? Now, as the game wore on and you got late, the personnel did change.
Yeah, it got kind of wonky in the last quarter and a half. Yep.
Don't know why that was either, but whatever. So it's like, those are one of those things, like, as a coach, if I was kind of that guy and I was overseeing, I would put my fingerprints on that. If he had a good enough fall camp to get your attention. And only those guys can answer that question. But I thought, Coach Frost was pretty transparent, I think, in his explanation, because I could see exactly how that happened.
I agree. Where you got the best of both worlds during camp.
Yeah. And
so you're not fully ingrained in the game plan.
Yeah. I completely agree.
But I wonder what it is moving forward to say, hey, 14 needs a touch. Do you think 14 would be a better change up here if we're going to go with blank to come in and play slot? Instead of Belt, where Ramir? Where do you, if you're not the play caller, you're still the head coach, you say, hey, got 14 here on the sidelines. What do we do with him? Here is this is one of my favorite names. I used to have an Uncle Otis.
Yeah.
Here is Otis. Good morning, sir.
Hey, what's happening? I just wanted to piggyback off the last caller. I think what was perplexing to me about that onside kick was Frost's explanation for why he did it. What did you guys think about them being able to end the game off that kick if they would have recovered it. I mean, it was the middle of the third quarter, whole lot of game left to play. I didn't quite understand his reasoning for that, his explanation.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. Again, we had a lot of Husker on Husker crime yesterday. Arguing about these.
Did you ask about the mouthpieces?
Hey, that came up.
Well, because I was on that on Monday night.
So and listen, we stumbled into that conversation. I forgot all about that. Right? Do you know what their big thing was about the mouthpieces? It wasn't the fact that, you were always questioning about mouthpiece and it was ingrained. It was they were making the case that you had hit so infrequently that you don't put your mouthpiece in. Because I was like, man, what are you guys? Once he said that, he was like, DB, man, why did they not have their mouthpieces in? And I said, my first answer was, and I'm just giving you an insight, right? This is the total 100% way.
So for people that didn't hear yesterday, so I was on a text chain Monday night.
And how you got on that thing, I have no idea.
And there were a couple former players, and one of their big thing was guys did not have their mouthpieces in while they were playing. And Trey Palmer is one of those guys that even I thought, wow, that's odd, because he would be running routes right after the catch, and you'd see he's one of the rare people that have the mouthpiece still connected to the helmet, and so you'd see it dangling while he was running. Didn't really move my needle, but I was aware of it until these guys brought it up, and that's wild that they.
That was their point, right? That was
so
the
that
point
ties into
that was the point that they were trying to drive
tackling
home. Is they were like, it's not that he would discipline us or bench us or make us go back and get our own out of the locker room. It was they're not in because they're not used to hitting. That was his point. And listen, I'm driving, so I didn't confirm or deny. I was just like, oh, I get it now. Because I thought, again, just 100% transparency, I thought they were being a little over the top. Because I didn't even know that guy that I was talking to was part of that discussion. Yeah. But when he just unsolicited brought up why do you think they don't have their mouthpieces in? I was like, are you that? Oh, you're part of this? Because I had no idea.
Yeah. That kind of makes sense. If we're trying to piece together reasons why and solutions for what happened on Saturday, and we've talked about tackling and what has gone on in the camp, now this starts to make a little bit more sense. If that's the reasoning behind that. But again, those are like the little details, the little simple details that as a coach, that's your number one priority, that you're good at that. And then you move on to the next thing that you're good at. And to answer Otis's call, at that point in the game, I don't think you're putting that game away.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't like that part of reasoning on why.
I didn't finish the thought. So we're having this conversation because that's what this individual kept harping on. He kept coming back to the onside kick. And I asked him, we're just parsing through it, right? I'm playing kind of my stance on it. He's playing his stance of it. And what his big thing is counterproductive to how you train. If you're telling people it's a 4-quarter game, you don't give them what did he say? You don't put the idea in their head that the game is over now. Yeah. And I said, okay, because the key thing for me is, and it's not that I was right or he was right or I was wrong. I said, the key thing for me is, as long as the guys have your back, it doesn't matter. So I would start there versus giving mixed messages about playing 4 quarters versus not. If they're in support, then you can survive it because everybody will feel like, hey man, I got their back.
Yeah. All right, quick break.
Yesterday was super exhausting.
9:23 sharp betting in the morning. We'll get to Brandon Vogel. He's about 15 minutes away. Back from Dublin. We'll get his thoughts, and now moving forward for North Dakota coming up this weekend in week 1 of the college football season. 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
90-ish% of the time, the answer is always Aquaman. And brainwashing fish, you know what? Actually, Aquaman could come in handy because if he were over in Ireland right now, he could just stand on the Nebraska sidelines, brainwash all the people eating their fish and chips. Oh, yum. The fried fish jump out of the basket.
to life.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone.
Rotella's a long-standing tradition, triple digits in terms of years, over 100 years of excellence. Wouldn't that be something? That's the key to success, right, is longevity. And Rotella's, there's a lot of different factors, right? Just enjoying serving you, the community, and providing quality products that you find folks ask for, like bun types and bun lengths and versatility and gluten-free. And then there's what Rotella's brings to the table, the non-negotiables, the quality ingredients, the love touch, the constantly searching for technology and sciences that can continue to keep them above board, where it's like, hey, you know what? We're not compromising taste and texture and sustainability of our product. That's just part of it in terms of how we evolve. And it's like, wow, when all those things come together, you get the great, fresh, quality taste of Rotella's breads and Italian rolls. Stop out at your nearest grocer or visit rotellasbakery.com.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Comfortable start Wednesday with temperatures in the 50s and lower 60s. We'll see tons of sunshine throughout the day, though turning hot in the afternoon. Highs topping out in the low 90s. We should stay dry into the evening with a slight chance of a shower or storm west of the metro. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
Dingman's Mechanical Repair. Service is at the heart of our business. Visit us at dingmansmechanical.com.
No matter how dark it gets, there's always a sunrise, a warm bed, a warm meal, and hope. Sienna Francis House serves hope to those experiencing homelessness and addiction. Every day, we provide more than 1,000 meals and serve nearly 500 guests in our emergency shelter, Miracles Recovery Program, and supportive housing apartments, and help our guests navigate a path to permanent housing. Learn more at siennafrancis.org.
Woodhouse Buick GMC at 119th and I. They are open for business today. Climate-controlled indoor showroom was there recently, and they have a lot of new inventory, new and pre-owned, and spread out. Large indoor showroom. Plus, they've got all the latest SUVs from Buick to GMC, something that will meet your needs if you're looking for an SUV. But find the perfect car, truck, or SUV for your liking, for business, for pleasure. You can find it today, 119th and I. They'll take care of you. And again, a large showroom where you can peruse and you don't feel like some salesperson is like breathing down your neck. They let you come in and see all the inventory. And then when you have questions, they go to work for you, because that's what they do at Woodhouse Buick GMC, 119th and I. Or you want to start your journey earlier? You can do it online at woodhousebuickgmc.com. Everything you get in person, you can get online, except the in-person experience. But you know what? You can also set up test drives to get that in-person experience as well. In person, 119th and I, online at woodhousebuickgmc.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. GMC, we are professional grade.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey everyone, Josh and John here for the FanDuel Sportsbook. Week 1 in the NFL has almost arrived. And join today and start with $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. All you have to do, John, is sign up with our promo code 1620 to get in on all of the action. Take Dallas against Tampa Bay. Who knows where Tom Brady has been over the last few weeks? Go Cowboys in week 1.
Josh, same game parlays are the way to go when it comes to betting football, because you can not only take the game number, but you can also look at player props, pool them together, and that makes a bigger win for you. And don't miss this chance to get $150 in free bets, win or lose, using our promo code 1620. 21 plus in President Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
The passion and excitement of high school football continues every week, and the High School Football Update covers it all every Saturday morning. Join veteran sportscasters Jim Kelter and Torrey Pantalian Saturday mornings 8 to 10 on 1180 The Zone.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Sean Callahan breaks down the Northwestern game and previews the North Dakota game. Thursday at Holy Ghost Church on 52nd and Q. Doors open at 5. Program starts at 7, and it's only $10 for adults and $5 for children. Sponsored by Parking Area Maintenance, Inc. and Husker Hound.
Make it a great fall season. Head to KuglerVision.com today to request a consultation.
Sharp and Benning in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app.
Hey, how do you blow that in terms of keeping a beat?
I'm on delay over here.
Is that like what are you like mimicking your heart rate? Because that certainly isn't how the music is playing. Like, is it? Like what is that? I'm always curious.
That's just a little off. Like I'm a little bit of delay over here.
That whole rhythm thing is tough, isn't it?
No, not really. I can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Hey, could you be in your back pedal and give an in call at the same time? In.
If I had
could you do that?
Yeah, if I had my hips correct and I was backpedaling.
Yeah,
I could do that.
I'm just curious. That's a lot harder than walking and chewing bubble gum. In. Could you do that?
In.
But you gotta have your head up. You gotta see what's going on.
I had my head up. I had my head on a swivel. I got the outside wide receiver. I got the X, the Y, and the Z.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, welcome.
Hey,
welcome.
What about spearmint? Can you handle that?
Excuse me?
Spearmint.
Oh, you know what I thought you were talking about? I thought you were talking about the character from Open Range. Yeah, man. Like,
I have not seen that in so long.
But the guy used the accent, the one that you were pretending to have earlier. It wasn't Sean Connery, because I think that guy that was mad at the free grazers, was from Ireland, wasn't he? Wasn't he Irish?
I think so.
We just land the plane, the whole thing comes together.
2005
Bubbling
Disney
in
movies,
Dublin.
No, the drunk uncle.
Well, it's going to be like this week. Those people from North Dakota like to drink.
Yeah.
The green people drink a lot of beer.
Hey, so our guy John, he's a total P1. He said he's got some guys that are coming up from Indy, and he's like, DB, man, I can drink my fair share of Busch Light, but I got nothing on these guys. Maybe it's just a way of life.
Well, they've got to be like drinking all the Canadian brews, right?
Maybe
some Moose Drool, maybe.
No, you got to go with Labatt's
or Molson.
Or Molson is, yeah, I could see it.
Well, you're not very far from Winnipeg. I've always thought about when we're in Grand Forks.
Isn't that
going on up to
isn't
Winnipeg.
that the great fishing spot?
It's also a great entertainment area.
Oh,
well, I remember back in the day, I'd hear Lincoln Salt Dog players say that when they'd go to Winnipeg, baseball was not the number one priority.
I'm gonna have to Google.
You get deep into Manitoba, great fishing.
Chance, his auger, and a pole.
Why not just stay in Minnesota?
I don't know.
Get on the Boundary Waters
Because
Lake Vermilion.
the Canadian
I
walleye
coach
are
a Vermilion. Joe Vermilion. I call him the ordinary Joe.
all the walleye on the American side are used to all our tricks and tactics. So you got to go to the Canadian side.
Hey, so
big fisherman, Chance
Mhm.
Oliver.
well, here's the thing.
Well, we gotta get my
do you
dad
know-
in
do you
here.
know
He'll know
why-
you
Do you know why Chance could never be president?
Well,
his international relations would be suspect. Man, who do you get along with, Chance? That is not within these borders.
The Scandinavians.
What have they ever done?
I don't know.
Neutral. They're nothing.
No, that's just Switzerland.
Okay.
I mean, one of their prime ministers is actually like really attractive, so I'd say "What's up" first,
Oh, here we go.
and then
Do you text?
Yeah, it's like, hey, do you like
Do
the
you
U
text?
the UN chat rooms or something?
I will take you under my wing if
Okay.
that is your pickup line of what's up. No woman is going to just. She's
Oh, hold
gonna-
on. Let me.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
don't ever.
I lost my pen to sign this treaty. Can I borrow yours?
Tight game, Chance. Tight game.
Boy.
What are the odds they are not swipe? Is it left or right they need to swipe?
You need to swipe right.
What are the odds you're getting leftied?
Incredibly high.
Can I borrow your pen? I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
is that a Fisher Space pen? Very nice.
I mean, you might as well just go with. I hope you know CPR because you just took my breath away.
Well, you know.
And both you guys know I can't stand corn. Wow. Corny.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the vegetable. I was going to say if you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber.
Stop. Stop.
I'm trying to help out my man over here.
Cut it out, man.
Well, I mean, that's way better than the absolute heinous pickup lines I've seen on TikTok.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
And by heinous, I mean not radio appropriate.
Thank you. Gosh, this is a terrible transition. I apologize. Good morning, DJ.
Man, I'm still cracking up about the cucumber. I'm sitting there looking out at my little garden that's got eggplants in it. You guys are talking cucumbers.
Hey, like, please don't encourage him. I don't even. Was that better or worse than can I borrow your pen?
That was worse.
See?
Oh man, that's why I love you guys.
Oh shoot, what's up?
You guys get me going. Hey,
Oh.
a couple questions real quick I got for you. One is 6-6 a compromise to Scott keeping his job? That's number one. I mean, to me, it is. The next thing is looking at Casey Thomas. He seems to be already a captain. Have you ever seen it where maybe a third through the season, somebody who wasn't labeled a captain is obviously really the captain? Because he seems to be cool under fire. His responses to the other captains that seemed to be dejected last Saturday were, calm down, we got this. And maybe it's just the maturity of where he's already played. And then the second thing is, man, I am getting trashed by Oklahoma fans that are telling me they were
It's
fearing
early.
coming to Lincoln. Yeah, they were fearing coming to Lincoln, and now they don't fear coming to Lincoln for this game. So just want to know you guys' thoughts on that. And I got one thing to say, man. I'll always think of you guys when I see a cucumber.
DJ, thanks. So just one quick thing on the Oklahoma thing. This is you like the controllables, right?
Yeah. Control the controllables.
If you do your job, you can control from the feeling at 9:38 on August 31st to 3:30 on September 17th.
Correct.
You can control that.
I do not believe 6-6 is a compromise.
Agree.
I do not.
Not acceptable.
FYI, it was Finland's prime minister.
What's her name?
It is Sanna Marin.
Is that two N's and an A?
Yes.
And Marin is Maren or
IN.
IN? That's your jam, huh?
Well, I mean, as far as world leaders go,
Tim.
What? Wow. There goes our alliance with Finland.
Are you going to Helsinki anytime soon?
Maybe Sri Lanka or something like that. Who knows?
Wait, did you say Sri Lanka?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A few more days if I don't give up.
Oh man,
In
dude
terms
is out there.
So to DJ's question about Casey Thompson, we touched on a little bit earlier how he carries himself. He's 23 years old. He'll be 24 after the Indiana game. It just, I think he's been in the spotlight for so long. That's in his wheelhouse. Now, in terms of being a leader, maybe if this was his second year, he would have been a captain.
Yeah, maybe.
But, and you have Vokalek, who's the only offensive captain. He goes out of the game and things, because of Vokalek's ability, go south. I think Casey knows what he's in for, and he can benefit from Nebraska being good. I mean, he can greatly benefit from Nebraska being good. And the way he approaches things is he always strikes me as a guy that's always going to be positive, moving it forward.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a guy that's he doesn't want to talk about Texas.
Understands.
He doesn't want to talk about.
Understands his craft.
He doesn't really want to talk about dad.
Hey, so remember,
he's a guy that I think he's more than, Adrian sometimes would go back. Tommy would go back. I think Casey is a guy that is always trying to move the conversation forward and likes to explain a lot of things.
So he's the guy. Remember, I told you, if you're super secure, like if you're secure in who you are, you don't mind him speaking for you, because you're like, man, okay, ownership, good command, whatever. If you're kind of insecure, you're almost probably thinking to yourself, man, that's too perfect.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Right. It's like, oh, that's too perfect. Because really, what is there not to like about what you heard, unless it's,
you think he's an act?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the only thing that we don't know, because his answers are, I mean, he's pretty legit. I mean, I just think so. Chance, can I go back to something real quick? Because I just can't let this go.
Go ahead.
What was it about the Finland and I know I said Helsinki, but like, how did we get there?
Gary brought up if I was president
for
some reason.
Yeah.
And then I said if I was president, then I would hit on foreign leaders. I think that's how we got there.
It's kind of weird. I know you like cartoons. Have you seen Raya and the Last Dragon?
I have. My niece loves that movie.
Okay, so do you remember her character's name? The one that she rode on? It could roll up like a roly-poly?
I don't remember his name.
Tuk Tuk.
That's it.
Do you know what you can tour in Helsinki, Finland?
Is it Tuk Tuk?
Tuk Tuk.
Played by Alan Tudyk, by the way.
Wow.
Bam. Boom. There you go, Chance. Wow.
And for anybody watching on television, there's like no Googling going on. It's just random making all these connections. Like,
well,
I thought I was really doing something
for those
with the whole
who
Tuk Tuk in Finland thing, right? It's
for
maybe not.
those who aren't familiar with his other work, he's also the chicken in Moana and Steve the Pirate in Dodgeball.
How hard is it to play a googly-eyed chicken in a cartoon? He didn't make any noise. The chicken didn't talk.
He just clucked.
That would be
a very nice role.
Yeah.
Especially for a movie that made a ton of money.
Paid handsomely.
I'm not wrong, right? The chicken didn't have any lines.
No. Alan
just, like,
Tudyk just
jumped in the
made
water
chicken
and-
sounds.
Yeah, he was just playing the role of a chicken.
Hmm.
Because as you know, you've been around the San Diego chicken, they don't talk.
Yeah, I've never been around a San Diego chicken.
You should be. Well, any mascot's not supposed to talk. All right, Brandon Vogel. This has been, man. If being sexy was a crime, I'd be guilty as charged today.
Hey, are you from Helsinki? Because I think I finished searching for my soulmate.
Oh God.
Hey, this side of the studio has some game, as they say.
Yeah, you got all the game.
Brandon Vogel is coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
After Nebraska plays on Saturday, you'll wake up on Sunday morning with a severe reaction. Michael Severe returns to 1620 The Zone, and he won't hold back about what went right and what went wrong during the game. He'll also take calls from the most important voice of all, yours, Severe Reaction. Sundays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., powered by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, only on 1620 The Zone.
Find your next certified pre-owned vehicle at Woodhouse Ford of Omaha today. Woodhouse Ford of Omaha is now a Ford Blue Advantage dealer with over 100 certified pre-owned vehicles on their lot that are ready to test drive and take home. What are the advantages of the Blue Advantage program? Well, I'm glad you asked. It allows for peace of mind while shopping the extensive inventory in store or online. The program is packed with additional benefits for you and your new vehicle. Each vehicle must pass a multi-point inspection before entering the program. You can receive comprehensive limited warranty coverage, money-back guarantees, and 24/7 roadside assistance. Plus, take advantage of the exclusive interest rates through their certified pre-owned program. Stop by the dealership on 3633 North 72nd Street and shop the full vehicle inventory. The Ford Blue Advantage at the Ford Blue Advantage program at Woodhouse Ford, that's buying that's built for you.
There are actually two kinds of cigars. The first is the one you smoke with beloved family and friends. The second, the one you enjoy with friends you've just met. And you'll find both at Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge. At Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, there's a well-stocked humidor with some of the best bands from around the world and a bar with your favorite cocktails and other drinkables. Join us September 2nd for the Oliva event from 6 to 9 for live music, free food, and awesome cigar deals. Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, just off I-680 and 48th Street next to Cubby's.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis. If you have played golf this summer and you haven't been that happy with your game, Mike Faber, their director of instruction, he can help you out. Give Miracle Hill Golf a call today at 402-498-0220. Book lessons or book a round of golf, whether it's a quick 9 after work, a full 18 on the weekend, the Top Tracer building, you can get your golf game right. 402-498-0220, Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis.
Introducing the all-new 2 for $5 menu at Sonic. Can't decide on what to eat? We made the choice a little easier for you. Right now at Sonic, you can choose any 2 of these mouth-watering classics. The full-size Fritos chili cheese wrap, small crispy jumbo popcorn chicken, or a juicy quarter-pound double cheeseburger for just $5. Get more of what you want with the all-new 2 for $5 menu, only at Sonic or in the app. Exclusions apply. Mobile ordering available at select locations. Hours may vary. Limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins. Fritos is a trademark of Frito-Lay North America, Inc. Copyright 2022.
Hi guys, it's Andrew. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, August 31st, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. Even Cambridge has studied our technology. If you're ready to transform your love life, grab your phone. Today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that, guys. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is our most lucrative offer ever, worth over $1,200. But call today, Wednesday, and qualify totally free. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 402-671-7777.
By now, you know that sound. It's the sound of the Home Depot. But what about those sounds? Those are the sounds of the Samsung Bespoke Refrigerator's Beverage Center with internal water dispenser and built-in pitcher with flavor infuser for crisp, refreshing water, making this the sound of savings on top brand appliances. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Save up to $1,201 on this Samsung Bespoke Refrigerator at the Home Depot. Offer valid August 25th through September 14th. See store or online for details.
Celebrate Septemberfest, Labor Day weekend, September 2nd through the 5th, outside the CHI Center. There are games, carnival rides, and food, plus clowns, robots, and a KCBC barbecue cook-off. Friday, there's Omaha Fight Club, boxing on Saturday, and epic music all weekend long, including Shoot to Thrill on Sunday. Monday, it's the Labor Day Parade through downtown at 10 a.m., along with the All-American Car Show. Septemberfest at CHI Center, Lot D. Click septemberfestomaha.org for times and parking info.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Sharp and Betting in the Morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app.
For me, I really like corn.
What do you like about corn?
It's corn. A big open knobs, it has the juice. I can imagine the most beautiful thing. It's corn. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing.
Welcome back to Sharp Betting in the Morning. What a morning it has been.
I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna say one thing. You are a creative soul. I have no idea. And I'm listen, pot meat kettle, right?
It's corn.
My wires are all over the place, and somehow they're attached. I got nothing on chance.
It was probably being diagnosed with attention deficit in kindergarten.
Hey, by the way, where are the goods? Are you still bringing those, or do I have to keep asking?
Which goods?
Share and share alike. We have the same problem. You're the cure, man.
Those goods. I got you.
Brandon Vogel is back from Dublin, Hell Varsity.
And Brandon's like, oh, wait a minute.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Hey, am I an accessory?
Good
No.
morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Depraved indifference, my man. Depraved indifference.
Is that different than athletic arrogance?
Oh.
Well.
Good morning.
Okay.
I mean, for Casey Thompson, I did think it's kind of catchy. It does kind of fit. That touchdown pass in the third quarter was definitely that. If nothing else.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you. I don't think we've asked any of our guys and gals that were in the stadium. What was the reaction in the stadium to the onside kick?
The Northwestern crowd got pretty loud. Me personally, I was sitting next to Michael Bruntz of 24/7 Sports, and we just looked at each other. Not a word was said, and not a word needed to be said. Boy, a really tough one. I didn't get any up close looks at how Nebraska fans responded to that, but just it was a shortcut to a win against a team that is built on not allowing shortcuts. And I think there are three others of those in your division, and Illinois is probably trying to get there. Just a tough decision, and it hasn't worn off the longer it's gone.
Hey, so
I like that the shortcut. That was a
hey,
good line.
B-Vogues, would it change your mind? Seriously, I know hindsight is a beautiful thing because I don't know this answer, but would it change your mind if everybody collectively had his back on the team on that call?
It would force me to think about it a little bit, I guess, because it's a really good question. Because here it is for me. We hear time and time again after these losses of this team that just needs something to go well. And I guess if hey, let's be aggressive, the aggressive mindset is throughout the team, then yeah, it probably changes things a little bit in my mind. But still, it's hard for me to see a scenario, even if Nebraska had recovered it. And I think I haven't seen the all 22, but on the broadcast, you can see, I think, what Nebraska sees.
Yeah.
But for me, it just, after everything of the past 4 years, it made me feel a little bit like, well, they haven't learned anything, and maybe that's too harsh, but yeah, the player piece of it, if that's how they want to play, if they felt good about that, great. I still think it's your job as a head coach then at that point to be like, Northwestern in that game had 10 drives where they had to cover at least 75 yards. They scored on 2 of them. It's just much better. You have much better odds of getting a stop if that's the case.
Moving forward, the likelihood that Casey Thompson on his own runs more or at all.
I think it's a key question. There was that one third down play where the decision to keep probably gets Nebraska a first down. And this North Dakota game, North Dakota in the FCS world is kind of a no shortcuts team too. So theoretically, he should have a little bit more of an opportunity. I mean, I think the need in the run game, whether that's from the quarterback or from somebody else, to attack the edge is readily apparent. And we'll see how they get there. I mean, I think Casey, I think, just needs to be a functional runner there. 4-5 carries a game. That's probably good for him, but he's going to have to make the decision a couple of times to just take that initiative and do it.
Hey, so when you're going back and you're kind of watching, and we talked a lot about the run game, and so now I'm at the point where I'm just kind of picking apart kind of each type of run. And how did you feel like the running backs graded in terms of finding holes and understanding what the run game was trying to accomplish?
I think there was quite a bit left on the field in that regard. I mean, Nebraska's offensive line did not get the better of that matchup, but still, with a little bit better running back play, I think you can get more than they got, which they were under 4 yards of carry. And we've seen Northwestern defense do that to a lot of people over the years, though they didn't last year. And it's rare to see Nebraska that low. And of course, this is a new type of offense. They're doing things differently on that regard, but they needed more. And Anthony Grant on the touchdown run, it was an excellent cut, ran through a tackle, missed tackle from Northwestern's perspective. But beyond that, there was just not a lot there that got me personally excited. Like, oh, this one was close. 3 weeks from now, that one busts long.
So let's stick with running backs, because Graham asked this on Twitch about having 5 running backs every year in the conversation. Most positions you roll with 1 or 2. We got a flux of running backs. Anthony Grant carries 19 of the 25 carries belong to Anthony Grant. Then there was Yant, there was Allen. And now we get a depth chart yesterday, whether you believe in the depth chart or not, there's a lot of ors there. Is the running back room in flux, or is it still an open tryout going on, even after a game in which one guy carried the ball 19 of your 25 times that you ran it?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of an open tryout still going on, which is, to Graham's point, is I think part of the issue. You've got these guys. There's a handful of guys that I feel pretty good about back there, but the fact that despite the lion's share of carries for Grant, and maybe maybe that's going to be what it is all season. I didn't get that impression from the press conferences yesterday, where you have just a clear number 1. And even beyond that, a clear number 2 and a number 3. Like, yeah, it'd be great to have 5 running backs who can all give you something a little bit different and be ready to go at a moment's notice. It's just, how often does that ever happen? So the fact that there's so many guys still in contention there, I think tells you that, well, we've got our top guy, but we still haven't seen enough from the rest of the field, but still also see some things in practice to where it's all still a mystery.
Hey, so if all the oars didn't float your boat, right? What about like the linebacking situation for you? Kind of an anomaly that will get better, or gosh, you still think they should open up the competition there too?
Yeah, I'm not quite ready to get there yet, but I expected that group to play a lot better. I mean, I thought they were the best position group on the team, and I still think that, but they need to look like it. And to not even really worry Helinski a whole lot was surprising, even though we know what type of player Northwestern has at left tackle. And the inside linebacker play was arguably more shocking. Just it didn't go well for the whole. So I would give those two veterans in the middle in particular a little bit more time, but I think you're going to have to look at, hey, if this doesn't improve quickly, like maybe by Oklahoma, maybe it is time to open that up a little bit.
Brandon Vogel from Hail Varsity joining us here in the last couple of minutes. Not a knock on him, but it's the defensive line where you're trying to develop depth in the interior. But if Ty Robinson is going to play all but 14 of the opposing team's snaps per game, what does that look like for Nebraska?
You need to feel his presence a lot more. I don't remember off the top of my head how many tackles he ended up with, but I mean, Nebraska just it was never really a threat to spend much time at all in Northwestern's backfield. And it's not that you're going to get a ton of those plays, but even if you're forcing the issue, if you're disrupting plays as a player up there, and I think that's what Nebraska needs Ty Robinson to be. I don't know that I would have gone into last week's game expecting that from anyone else on that defensive interior. Now we get 4 or 5 games down the road, somebody else is going to need to step up and help, because if Ty Robinson remains the only person that you expect that out of, well, you can game plan and scheme around that.
You went from Robinson had 71 snaps all the way to Win with 20, and remember, Drew had more snaps than Win.
Yeah, it was tough day for that defensive front. And I mean, this was kind of the question, one of the big questions I think going into the year. Like, if you take a step back up front, what does it do to how those linebackers look? And we might have found out in that game against Northwestern.
Hey, so let me ask you, Brandon, which part of what you saw on Saturday would you go from more to least portable, even if it's something that wasn't a positive?
Well, the punting search should certainly be portable, but outside of that, individual play, the passing game, looked pretty crisp, and I mean the drops weren't great for Nebraska there, but the passing game I think looked pretty portable. There's the idea out there that, well, maybe it stuck with its original script or its original package of plays a little bit too long, and the numbers would kind of back that up. But for the most part, I think that looked like what it should look like, what it could look like. So that's maybe the most portable part of this for me as we go into week 2.
Great stuff, Brandon. Welcome back. Great coverage over there, and great insight here in this 10 minutes. We appreciate it. Have a great week. We'll see you on Saturday.
Thanks, B.
You too, guys. Thanks.
It's Brandon Vogel from Hail Varsity. That'll do it for the show. Quite entertaining, I shall say. I'm going to brag about us a little bit. We covered a lot of things today. Not that we haven't in the first 2 days.
World relations.
Or
for chance.
We had some you know what? Hey, today we had passion on the show.
A little.
Little.
Break some silverware. Break some glasses.
Mr. Gorbachev.
It was good stuff. Good stuff. Remember,
no.
Whipple and Shenander speak today.
Yeah, it'll be good.
We'll talk to you tomorrow at 6.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill has been making your game day experience one to remember for 18 years with our award-winning char-buffed wings and $7.99 Monday through Friday lunch specials. But now your game day just got bigger and better with Oscar's newly upgraded audio-video system. Cheer on your favorite teams this season in front of a 22-foot LED video wall, showing up to 8 games at once, and of course, 40 TVs and massive dual projectors. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, 173rd and West Center Road, and for takeout at 162nd and Maple.
Hey, what is around the corner for you is FanDuel. And as we get you ready for the start of the college football season, FanDuel is right there with you. New customer